9 minutes to play, first quarter, 6-0, Mount San Jacinto.
Okay.
Now the officials talking on the other side. Casey Mazzota, head coach for San Jacinto in his 11th season. So the football hasn't moved. I guess Mazzota was asking for an explanation as to why the interception was taken away, but development has taken a long time. Now we're set to go. So Gunt will punt this one for LA Valley, waiting at his 30. Clean snap. The kick is away. It is end over end and lost at the 23-yard line. That's a live football. LA Valley tries to fall on it. Eventually San Jacinto will land on it in the end zone. Waiting for a ruling from the officials. Looked like San Jacinto was the one to fall on the football. They exchanged hands a couple times. Nobody could quite pull it in.
Yeah, I'm in the control now.
So that was a 35-yard punt. You got it again. You come out there.
All right, there's sound.
Ruling on the field.
Yeah, I'm in sound.
The kick is the impetus of put the ball in the end zone. It was recovered by the receiving team in the end zone, which results in
It says speakers and headphones. That's the one that's showing audio levels.
So touchback. Mount San Jacinto will catch a break there. The LA Valley players were thinking that was going to be a safety. A couple of them celebrating, putting their hands over there, making the signal. Instead, San Jacinto will start at their 20, following the muff punt. Big break there as LA Valley had a chance to recover that one for a touchdown. Sharon Jones leads the offense back on the field already. A 6-0 lead. Jones with a 37-yard touchdown to his credit to Michael Stewart the last time San Jacinto had the football. They will not have the benefit of good field position this time, though. Starting at their 20, they lead 6-0, 8:49 to play in the first. Jones out of the gun. There's 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. And the running back to the left side is Becknell, and Becknell with a run to the right is going to lose a yard at the 19. A couple of guys in there to disrupt the play for LA Valley, including a big number 99, Reichner.
I'm on playback.
Reichner with an interception last week. Playing on the defensive line tonight, loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Mount San Jacinto. LA Valley had their statewide long 19-game winning streak snapped last week on the road, 10-6 defeat. In Victor Valley, hoping to start a new one tonight, Coach Matt White says we just got to go 1-0. That's the goal. Shotgun snap on 2nd and 11. Jones rolling to the left side, dumps it off in the flat. Catch made at the 25 and a first down pickup. There's good yardage after the catch by Cameron Watley.
Yes, that's what under the master.
Well, it's at the 37. It's an 18-yard completion.
Okay, because now under the sound tab in playback, I see the levels on speakers.
Jones in the gun, 1st and 10 from the 37. Got Becknell to his left, 3 receivers stacked up on the right side of the field. Just a tight end on the left. They'll keep it on the ground. So run to the left side and check that. That's Adrian checking in for Becknell.
So I turned that off.
And lost a yard on the play at the 37.
All right. Are you watching? Are you hearing? Can you hear Aaron?
So Mount San Jacinto slowing things down, trying to chew up a little bit of clock, keep the LA Valley defense on the field as long as possible. Hardy, the 6-0 lead, 2nd and 10 from their 37. Adrian to the left side of Jones. They'll keep 3 receivers on the right side.
Right.
Jones, shotgun snap, under pressure, flushed out of the pocket to the right. Throws downfield and catch is made, but should be ruled out of bounds. Yeah, no feet in, only need 1 in college, but Jaden Lundy unable to get either of them in. And ruled incomplete. We'll bring up 3rd and 10. San Jacinto's had their own problems on third down, not quite as inept as LA Valley has been on the season. 39% conversion rate on third downs this season for Mount Jacinto. Third and long, 3rd and 10 from their 37. They lead 6-0 and hoping to stay on the field. LA Valley wants to get the ball back. Try to tie the game, if not take the lead. Adrian is the running back. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Jones, the shotgun snap, looking over the middle. It's a low throw, but a catch made on one knee by Jalen Macklin. First down reception at the 48-yard line of LA Valley. 14 yards on the completion.
Great job there by Jalen Macklin there, and he was able to see the zone that the defense was in, found the soft spot, settled down, and there we go.
And Jones settling in nicely tonight. It was a rough start for Mount San Jacinto. Went 3 out on their opening drive, but then they got good field position. Started at the 37-yard line of LA Valley. Jones found Michael Stewart in the end zone. 6-0 after the extra point was blocked, and Jones and company on the move. 1st and 10 from the LA Valley 48. Already up 6-0 is Mount San Jacinto. Low snap into the ground. Jones able to handle it. Gives it away to Adrian. Adrian with a diagonal run to the left side ahead of the 45. On his feet at the 40 by the sidelines. And out of bounds at the 36. Another first down for Mount San Jacinto. 12 more yards for Adrian. Doing a nice job in relief of Becknell. And LA Valley, a team that does not give up a lot of yards. Just 85 yards rushing per game allowed by this LA Valley defense. And they've been carved on a couple of plays by Adrian.
So far, they just look a little bit out of sorts, not quite ready to play.
Now 1st and 10, Mount San Jacinto from the LA Valley 38. 5:45 to play, first quarter. 6-0, Mount San Jacinto. Shotgun snap, Jones rolling to his right, will dump it off short and complete for only a couple. Kifa Court, who was the leading receiver a week ago for Mount San Jacinto, picks up a few. The 34 will officially be a gain of 4. Bring up 2nd down and 6. So Mount San Jacinto used the big play to get ahead, 6-0 on the last drive, the 37-yard touchdown throw to Stewart. And they've been doing it little by little on this drive, trying to just eat up some clock and get the LA Valley defense tired. T formation. It's Jones waiting for the snap. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Hand off to Adrian, and the line broke down quickly. LA Valley stuffs it for a loss. A couple of guys, Taylor Manuel, in there to lead the charge.
Taylor Manuel, one of those fixtures on this defense, having a heck of a season so far. And last week, well, he had 5 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble.
Yeah, 2 interceptions this season as well, and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Taylor Manuel, one of the undisputed leaders of this defense. 3rd and 10, San Jacinto from the LA Valley 38. T formation, 2 receivers left side, 1 on the right. Plenty of time to throw as Jones looking downfield, nobody open. Finally airs it out deep down the left side into the end zone and incomplete. He went into the end zone looking for Stewart. The two of them connected on the last drive for a 38-yard touchdown on the right side. This time Stewart lined up on the left. Jones took a shot into one-on-one coverage. Incomplete, and see what they elect to do on 4th down. There's Jason Thompson back there in coverage. Sophomore out of Colorado there to disrupt Stewart. Just enough to not be able to catch that ball. The offense will stay on the field. 4th and 10 from the LA Valley 38. San Jacinto is 2 for 9 on 4th downs this season. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Jones dumps it off quickly on the left side. Throws to the 35, short of the first down marker. Catch is made by Stewart, but not enough for the first down. They needed 10. They got 3. And LA Valley defense stands tall on 4th down. They're able to get off the field and prevent any further damage as the score will stay 6-0, 4:04 to play in the first.
All right, thank you.
Now, turnover on downs. LA Valley will take over at their 35, and they trail 6-0, 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. A 37-yard touchdown throw from Jones to Stewart from Mount San Jacinto earlier in the first quarter. Extra point was blocked. 6-0 the score. LA Valley looking to get onto the board. As Moten, new quarterback tonight, the fourth quarterback to play for LA Valley this season. Check that Sebastiano comes in to replace him. Sebastiano will be out there for this drive after Moten had played the first two. And Sebastiano complete on first down. Short throw to the right side and a quick dart out of bounds at the 37. A pickup of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
And for those of you that watched that first game for LA Valley that we did 3 weeks ago, hard to believe, Sebastiano came in and played very solid. He was a big reason why they won.
Yeah, had 2 touchdown passes in that game, including a game winner in overtime to Faison Knight. A Schick in the backfield this time. Snap to Sebastiano, gives it away to Schick, but the play is blown dead. Both sides pointing at each other, but I'm feeling this one's going against LA Valley. And it will false start. And Gregory Nathaniel whistled for the false start. Freshman out of Philadelphia. A couple of guys from Philly on last year's team as well, including Akil Crumpton, who caught 2 passes for the Georgia Bulldogs today, by the way. 2nd down and 12, LA Valley from their 33. Give it away to Schick on the ground. Schick running left side. Line broke down, and Schick's going to be stuffed for a loss back at the 32. A couple of guys in there to combine for the tackle. Charge was led by Dom Eliardo, freshman out of Douglas Freeman High School.
Not much push here from the offensive line. We're seeing LA Valley try to get their playmakers in space, and so far the defense, very quick, very strong. They're wrapping up and making these tackles.
3rd down and a mile for LA Valley. Just 1 for 15 last week. Need to improve on it tonight, where they are 0 for 2. And Sebastiano in the gun. They will run a draw, give it away to Schick. And the conservative play does not catch Mount San Jacinto off guard. Stuff for another yard loss. And San Jacinto has looked very strong defensively so far tonight.
Aaron, you took the words out of my mouth. Conservative. Exactly what I was thinking.
You know, LA Valley just hasn't found their rhythm offensively really the entire season. It's been just inconsistency after inconsistency on game to game, drive to drive. They need to find that identity offensively, and the problem right now is that neither the running game or the passing game is having much success. There's 2.5 yards per carry on the ground. They've played 4 different quarterbacks this season. Kalawaya Judd still doesn't look 100% coming off his leg injury from last season. And the play clock winding down. It's at 0 and a couple seconds late, but we eventually get to delay a game. And something you can't afford. Need more discipline. And Matt White, particularly coming from the special team side of the football, has to be pretty upset right now.
Well, if he was heated before, I wonder what he is now. You absolutely can't not get the punt off.
No, I mean, no surprise in what's coming. 4th and 13. You know you're going to punt it deep in your own territory. So Gunt had to kick this one away. It's a short kick, low to the ground, hits the 47. Scooped up by Stewart at the 45 on the San Jacinto side of the field. Crosses midfield and out of bounds around the 46, 47-yard line. Depend on the final shot, so about a 10-yard return. And they're going to back it up to the 48, so a little bit of a break there for LA Valley, but still a great position for Mount San Jacinto. They've started once in LA Valley territory tonight. They needed 1 play to get into the end zone on that one, the 37-yard touchdown throw, Jones to Stewart.
Well, this will make it 2 drives starting there. And Gunt not doing his coverage team any favors. A little bit of a flat kick, not much air. Doesn't get the team a chance to get down.
No, not much hang time on that one at all. So San Jacinto back on the field offensively, looking to add to a 6-0 lead. 2 minutes to go, first quarter. T formation, Jones in the gun. 1 receiver on each side of the field. And with the play clock winding down, Mount San Jacinto will be forced to spend their first timeout as they do it to avoid a delay of game penalty.
And just a reminder that all LA Valley football on SportsNetUSA.net is brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim, where service and parts is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Check out the alignment, brake, and oil change specials on the web at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Located at the 91 in Euclid, Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, and education.
Aaron Rosenberg and Luke Hobbs with you from LA Valley College. LA Valley 3-1 this season. San Jacinto is 2-2. San Jacinto beginning this drive at the 48 of LA Valley, leading 6-0. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. T formation. Jones in the gun. 2 receivers on the right side. Jones, plenty of time to throw. Looking downfield, nothing there. Tucks it away, runs, has the first down ahead of the 35, 30, 20. Angles to the sidelines and takes it inside the 10. A 30-yard run, a 38-yard run, for Sharon Jones. Showing off those legs. Has an ability to run. That's, at least by my count, that's his first scramble of the night. And he's got San Jacinto in business. That should set up a first and goal somewhere around the 10-yard line.
Well, he is the second leading rusher on the season here for Mount San Jacinto. 168 yards.
Yeah, he's a bounce back from the University of Tennessee. Redshirted in 2015 through just one pass last year. Initially decided he wanted to transfer to a junior college in Kansas. Then changed his mind again, decided to come home to California and see where he might wind up next season, trying to work his way back into Division I football. He has his team set up first and goal from the 10-yard line. Another T formation. Jones rolling to the right side, throws into the end zone. It's a low throw into the ground, bounces incomplete. He was looking for Stewart, who caught the first touchdown of the night, and fortunately for LA Valley, that throw just a little bit off the mark is Stewart had some separation from the secondary. He was open if the throw was there.
The throw from Jones was a little bit wide. However, in that situation, you want to throw it hard and you want to throw it low. That way the defense doesn't have a chance to make a play on the ball, come up with a pick.
Incomplete on first down, and it'll be second and goal for San Jacinto at the LA Valley 10. Minute and a half to play, first quarter, 6-0. San Jacinto looking to double their lead. Shotgun snap, handoff to Becknell. And Becknell will gain a couple running straight up the gut to the 7. So we'll credit him with a 3-yard gain.
And that takedown from number 65, Jesse Hernandez.
So first carry for Becknell since the opening drive. It's been Ib Adrian getting the lion's share of the carries so far in the first quarter. Well, Becknell is the leading rusher this season. Third down and goal from the 7. It's Adrian to the right side of Jones. 3 receivers bunched up on the right side of the field. Jones takes the snap, step to his right, looking into the end zone, has a receiver open, throws, and complete for the touchdown. Once again, it's Stewart. Second touchdown of the night from Michael Stewart. First one was a bomb. This one, a short yardage, third and goal throw from the 7-yard line. And San Jacinto doubles their lead to 12-0.
Now, Aaron, do you think they're going to go for the kick, or do you go for the 2 points, make it even 14?
Well, I think you got to try to show some confidence in your kicker. The last one was blocked. They've had 3 extra points missed this season. They've had 2 punts blocked. So, I mean, special teams kicking has been an issue for San Jacinto. Flag comes out before we get a snap.
2 missed field goals as well. Only 1 for 3 on the season, that is.
Delay of game against San Jacinto, so it'll make the kick 5 yards more difficult. Well, if he misses another one, I would think maybe they'll just go to the 2-point conversion to take their chances, but they're going to leave Perrine out there. The kick will be about a 25-yard field goal, and this one blocked again. A roll into the back of the end zone, go out of bounds, so that it is a live football. LA Valley can pick it up, return it the other way for 2 points, but have not been able to mount a return on either of the blocks. But not much going well for LA Valley offensively or defensively, but credit the special teams with 2 blocked kicks.
No, that's a pretty tough spot to be the kicker. However, that's really on the line. I didn't get the number, but it was the second to last member on the outside on the left side. He just led his defender through the inside gap, the Cardinals in, and then that's an easy block.
Yeah, so LA Valley uncharacteristically giving up a lot of yardage and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. 12-0 the score. And LA Valley not used to, well, they've played from behind a couple of times, but not used to being this far behind. In fact, I don't think they have been down 2 possessions since I believe it was the opening game against Cerritos. They were down about 10 points in the third quarter and eventually stormed back a couple of defensive touchdowns in the fourth to take the lead and Then against Victor Valley last week when they lost. It was a 10-6 game, tight all the way. So Perrine's kick is short. It's directional to the 29-yard line, and LA Valley has to fall on it just ahead of the San Jacinto rush.
Whew. Makes you nervous, doesn't it?
Yeah, the awareness wasn't quite there on the first kickoff of the night. Matt White got hot. He got in everybody's face, and LA Valley wasn't going to make that same mistake twice.
No, this has been pretty uncharacteristic of the Monarchs. Sloppy play, not really situational awareness. However, we need to see the offense come out, keep the ball. Even if you don't score, you need to move, get some time of possession, and keep the defense off the field. Give them a rest.
LA Valley beginning at their 29. Sebastiano out of the gun. He will hand it off to Baskerv on first down, and Baskerv able to pick up a couple. I think forward progress is going to put him around the 34. There should be a gain of 4. And set up second down and 7. Tackle made on the play by James Kelly, coming in from the secondary, freshman out of Canyon Springs. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Should be our final play. LA Valley doesn't have to snap it.
Oh, but the clock's not running.
Yeah, Sebastiano clapping his hands, waiting for that snap. Will pitch it to Baskerv on the right side. Baskerv around the tackle, 35-40 on his feet, ahead of the 40 to about the 45. And for the first down, they're going to actually say he's put the foot out of bounds at the 43. So a 9-yard run for Baskerv, who is getting the most traction of any of the running backs is set on the field for the Monarchs so far. They will take us to the end of the first quarter. LA Valley picks up the first down. They're on the move, approaching midfield, but they trail 12-0 at the end of one. Watching Valley College football, brought to you by Miller Toyota on SportsNetUSA.net.
Aaron, it's really been a rough spot here for the Monarchs. Kind of seeing the issues from that loss last week trailing over, and that loss, as you mentioned so many times, snapped that winning streak that they had, the number 1 in the state at 19 games. Also, knocked them out of the top 15 in the coaches poll this week. They were tied at 15th. Now they're out.
And the Monarchs, they know better than to get caught up in the rankings and too much outside chatter. This is, in all reality, this is the end of their preseason. As next week conference play starts, Monarchs, obviously the defending champions of the conference, will open up against Pierce in the Liberty Bell game. Pierce has some turmoil of their own, fired their coach 2 weeks ago. So some new blood coming into the sidelines for Pierce. They're 2-3 on the season, so LA Valley hoping that they can get a win, get some momentum to open up conference play next season. We'll have that game for you 6 p.m. next Saturday night on SportsNetUSA.net.
And if you want to just sit at your computer and watch SportsNetUSA.net all Saturday, well, we also have the Fullerton College game at 1 o'clock.
Fullerton, the defending state champions in the national division. Start of the second quarter, 1st and 10, LA Valley from their 43, trailing 12-0. Sebastiano out of the gun, gives it away to Baskerv. And Baskerv runs to the right side, can't quite slip around the tackle. It just follows the guard, gets to the 45. It'll be a pickup of, just about 2. Baskerv 11 yards on 3 carries, and just to put things into perspective how much the Monarchs have struggled running the ball, 11 yards on 3 carries is actually pretty good for what they've been able to do so far.
And, this Eagles defense has been swarming all night. They're really doing a great job of gathering out the ball, gang tackling.
2nd down and 6 after a generous spot to the 47. So LA Valley at their 47, approaching midfield, trying to just get their defense some rest. They've been on the field an awfully long time. Baskerv again out of the backfield, and he's going to be stopped at the 43. A 4-yard loss. And it's coming into, I think the stop were
I think that was Andrew Berry, the leading tackler here for the Eagles.
Yeah, he had some help on the play, but Berry in there leading away to make the stop, and that's going to push LA Valley back to their 44. 0 for 3 already on 3rd downs tonight, 1 for 15 last week. And we keep repeating that stat, but it's been a problem. The best way to get better on 3rd down, any offensive coordinator will tell you, is be better on 1st and 2nd down.
Absolutely.
3rd and 10, not easy, particularly for a struggling offense. A Baskerv will be in the backfield. The perhaps will just be a decoy. 2 receivers each side of the field. Sebastiano looking to air it out downfield. Everybody well covered. Decides to run with it and only can get back to the line of scrimmage. And you can only ask the line to hold up for so long. They held up for about 5-6 seconds there, and at that point, you either just have to take a chance down the field or take off with it. And Sebastiano chose the latter, unable to find an opening. And once again, out comes Romeo Gunt to punt this one away.
Well, as any quarterback would tell you, when you get hit a couple of times, well, now you start to sense the pressure a little bit early.
So Gunt sends this one away. A little bit better hang time. Stewart fields it at the 20-yard line and only able to gain a couple. Celebrating the special teams tackle for LA Valle. You can see number 31 on your screen, Noah Barber. Also plays in the secondary, a freshman out of Dundalk, Maryland. 37-yard punt. Ball will be spotted at the 21 from Mount San Jacinto.
Well, now we're going to have to see, can the defense stiffen up?
So Jones will start in the T formation, which is where he's had the most success tonight. On the move, running to the left side, looking for Macklin, and in and out of his hands. Would have been a short yardage catch, could have picked up about 5. LA Valle was quickly in pursuit.
Looks like the issue there was Macklin just didn't see the ball in. You have to have the ball hit your hands, watch it all the way in. He was focused on what he was going to do after he already had it, trying to make a play.
So San Jacinto will try to add to a 12-0 lead. They've had success, a lot of success through the air. 83 yards for Jones and 2 passing touchdowns in the first quarter. 2nd and 10, San Jacinto at their 21. Stick with that T formation, low snap, and then a pitch. First down, it's Becknell, and Becknell doesn't have anywhere to go. So LA Valle read that play perfectly. Flag comes out at the end of the play. LA Valle clapping their hands. Well, there's Noah Barber, as if he anticipates the penalty be against San Jacinto, but we'll wait for Joe Conti, our referee, to give us the call.
Yeah, Aaron, that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct or an unnecessary roughness, but just a late push there from Jalen Macklin against number 31 on LA Valle. That's Noah Barber. A little bit of taunting going on before the play. Macklin got up, gave him a little shove.
So since it's after the play, I'd expect this to be 3rd down, although the chain gang still is flashing 2nd down on the field. But if it's a dead ball foul, then you do lose the down. They shouldn't get to repeat 2nd down. And given it's a 15-yard penalty, but they're inside the 30, it'll be half the distance to the goal.
And they did go ahead and change the down marker, so it is 3rd down.
Yeah, so as we expected, 3rd down, and San Jacinto going to be backed up to around the 10-yard line, half the distance to the goal. They need to get to the 32, so it'll be 3rd down and 21. Not a whole lot in the playbook for this. Only one play tonight for San Jacinto was gone in excess of 21 yards, and that was the 37-yard touchdown throw to Michael Stewart. And LA Valle with a cover 2 formation right now. 2 safeties waiting back at the 25-yard line. The Jones waiting the snap. Play clock is down to 5. They got to hurry. They just get it off in time. Short throw to Stewart on the right side. Catches it behind the line of scrimmage. Runs forward along the numbers to the 15 and is eventually tackled on the 17. So 6 yards to Stewart. Not anywhere close to a 1st down. And LA Valle should get the football back somewhere around midfield.
Safe play there from the Eagles. However, Noah Barber from LA Valle had a chance to come up and make the tackle. Little too aggressive. Or just over-pursued, missed him. That's where it opens up opportunities for offenses when defenses get hyper-aggressive.
And LA Valle at times likes to play aggressive defensively. They've made a lot of big plays, 8 interceptions, 3 defensive touchdowns, but a time and place. I think that's what you're saying, Luke. Now Perrine waiting close to his end zone. Just has to try to get this one away cleanly. Shanks it off the side of his foot. It bounces at the 35-yard line of San Jacinto, then rolls backwards to the 30, maybe the 29.
That's going to end up being something like, what, a 16-yard punt?
Yeah, less than that, I think. I think about 13 by the time they move it up to the 29-yard line. So now if you're LA Valle, you're down 12-0, about 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. You've struggled all night offensively. You've already played 2 different quarterbacks. Best field position of the night at the 29. Best opportunity of the night. I think you feel like it's only in the second quarter, but you have to come away with points here.
And here's our third quarterback of the night, Clarence Williams.
Yeah, Clarence Williams making his debut tonight. 1 for 6, just 4 yards and an interception last week. So he had his struggles. One of 3 quarterbacks to play in the loss against Victor Valley. He'll be out of the gun on first down, looking downfield. Flag comes out. Throws it over the head of his intended target. He was looking for Jamie Jinks.
Based on that flag being in the backfield, I would expect to see offensive holding. However, sometimes you just want to see the quarterback throw it away. It's okay to eat the down.
So holding, and I think Matt White would probably take that because Williams was in danger. He could have easily been sacked on that play, and if he gets sacked, you lose the down. If you hold, at least you get to repeat first down.
Well, I was worried about the interception, to be honest.
The throw was off the mark, and Williams, like we mentioned, had that interception last week, just 4 yards through the air on 1 completion. So LA Valley still trying to find their quarterback for the season. Ashante Smith is in the backfield. Williams will throw over the middle on a slant that is complete to Matthew Mattingly at the 35, quickly downed.
Now there's a nice throw from Williams. Just high percentage throw, and he really muscled it in there.
The first reception of the night for Mattingly, had a pair of catches last week. And we'll set up second and about 15. They are at the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the catch by Mattingly.
And here you just want to pick up 6, 7, 8 yards to make third down possible.
Third and manageable, the goal. Williams out of the gun, looking downfield. Nobody is open. Runs to the right side and only gets to about the 29. He's able to pick up about 5, getting to the 29. It'll be 3rd and 10. Well, they fell a little bit short of what you wanted. But at least they got forward yardage. And this situation, I think they maybe consider it 4-down territory, so you don't necessarily have to go for all 10 yards on this play. Obviously, they'd like to get them all. But I think most importantly, just make sure you move the ball forward. So go ahead.
Oh, what I would like to see here is the quarterback just settle down in the pocket, not decide to run so early, try to let some of these routes develop. That might give them a chance to get the 10 yards they need. It's much harder for him to scramble for that.
So the Monarchs will call their first timeout as Clarence Williams sensing the play clock winding down, and Matt White wants to make sure his offense is on the same page. Now, Jason Vandiver is not in the field. He calls the plays from upstairs on top of the press box.
And Aaron, you mentioned earlier that division play starts next week. Well, LA Valley here in the American Pacific, they're actually in first place despite last week's loss. They're sitting at 3-1. Allen Hancock's in second, tied with Santa Barbara with 3-2. Then Antelope Valley and LA Pierce both 2-3, and Citrus is 1-3.
Now Pierce coming to town next week at the Liberty Bell game. Pierce, like you mentioned, the rundown is standing at 2-3. There's turmoil over there. Fired their coach a couple of weeks ago. And certainly coming in with a lot of outside distractions. So LA Valley coming out of the timeout will face a 3rd and 10 from the enemy 29. LA Valley on the wrong end of the scoreboard, trailing 12-0. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Williams, the third quarterback in the game tonight, stands in the gun. Gary Gandy behind him in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Williams looking downfield again, not finding anybody open. Takes a chance, launches it to the back of the end zone. Jump ball, and incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Austin Moore. And Moore had it on his fingertips, couldn't quite pull it in. There's a flag back on the field near where the ball was thrown from, holding against LA Valley. And now a decision for Casey Mazzota. Does he take 4th and 10, or would he rather face 3rd and 20?
I think I would expect him to accept the penalty. Oh, he declined.
Well, I guess the strategy here is you'd rather need 1 stop than 2 stops, even though obviously the 20 yards harder to pick up than 10. And for LA Valley, this drive started at the 29 of San Jacinto. They went backwards thanks to penalties, and eventually got it back to the 29 at a 3rd and 10 through to the end zone. And Incomplete to Moore. They'll try a pooch punt. As Romeo Gunt will.
That's actually a pretty good look.
Yeah, it takes a bounce at the 6, and LA Valley will tip it back, down it at the 2-yard line.
That's the best play of the night there.
Yeah, Devaris Howard eventually swarms on the football, downs it around the 2. So a 27-yard punt won't look impressive on the stat sheet, but nice job by Romeo Gunt to shift the field position game. Obviously, the Monarchs wanted to come away with points there, best field position of the night, but they'll take any kind of momentum they can get. And San Jacinto pinned deep on their side of the field at their 2-yard line.
Yeah, and this gives the LA Valley defense a chance to really pin their earbacks, go for the blitz.
See if C.J. Claiborne, defensive coordinator, dials up that blitz and tries to go for the safety. Extra protection there as Jones will have a T formation, running back on each side of him for additional blocking. Jones takes a shotgun snap, rolls to the right, gets rid of it, throws downfield, and incomplete. Trying to make a one-handed catch was Kifa Court. Court unable to pull it in. Good coverage on the play. Court was looking for a flag, but does not get it. Just solid work by the secondary.
No, that was well played. No illegal contact. He waited for the ball to get there before he put the hand on the hip. Then it's fair to interfere. Also, very aggressive offensive strategy here from Mount San Jacinto to go 3 wide and then forcing no safeties on the LA Valley back end.
2nd and 10, San Jacinto from their 2-yard line. 9:20 to play in the first half. San Jacinto up 12-0. Jones in the gun. Extra blocker on each side of him. Gets rid of it, looking for Stewart down the right sideline, and incomplete. Good coverage on the play for LA Valley. That was Jalen Alexander, freshman out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, in coverage.
Yeah, and now here with the 3rd and 10 from the 2, I would expect to see them do something conservative, try to get a couple of yards. That way your punt team isn't so backed up right at the edge.
Right, because remember where they are on the field, a bad snap can easily turn into a safety or points for the defense.
That's a free 2 points, and then it turns into a punt.
Right, and San Jacinto already up 12-0. I don't think they're going to try anything too risky here. They'll go with the T formation, give Jones those extra blockers. Moving on the line of scrimmage, I thought there was. I don't see a flag, though. The Jones will air it out down the left sideline. Incomplete. Ball was thrown out of bounds, intended for Jaden Lundy.
And the coverage there from Diamond Harrell.
I don't know if Jones was trying to complete that pass as much as he was just trying to get rid of that football and make sure he didn't get hit for a safety.
Well, now we're going to see the punter standing literally on the edge of the end zone right here.
So most importantly for Perrine, the punter, just get the ball away. And it's not great yardage, they'll live with that, but just make sure it doesn't get blocked. They've had 2 extra points blocked already tonight.
And if you're LA Valley, this is what you do. You live off of strong defense and special teams and blocks and sacks. Let's see if they get the...
So Perrine able to get that one away, but it's a short one. It'll bounce, a fair catch, called for by Gary Gandy at the 25. So LA Valley started at the 29 of San Jacinto on the last drive. Ended up getting a net of 0 yards on that drive. Punted it away. Now they'll start at the 25 of San Jacinto. We thought they needed points on the last drive to get some momentum. You got to go away with points on this one, starting at the 25.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a good old-fashioned field position battle right now. But normally you would say that on the other side of the field, you don't start at the 30, you don't start at the 25 of your opponent and not score.
Clarence Williams will lead the offense of the field, trailing 12-0, hoping to cut the deficit in half, make it a 1-score game. 9 minutes to play in the first half. Williams out of the gun. We'll have Gandy behind him in the backfield. 1 receiver on each side of the field. Play action, looking into the end zone, throws deep into double coverage and incomplete. Devin Hextall, the intended target. A little bit overthrown towards the back of the end zone. Hextall made a dive for it, tried to get the fingertips on it, but just couldn't quite get there. Falls incomplete, and will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Hextall looking like he wanted a flag there. However, I like the no call. You can see that they just incidentally ran into each other, and as you mentioned, the ball was overthrown.
Right, just got to let the players play. Defensive players complaining all the time that with all the rule changes that they're not allowed to hit high, they're not allowed to hit low. Put a hand on anybody, it's a flag, and I like it. Let the secondary do their job. Dimitri Atkinson checks in for Hextall, who motioned to the sidelines to get a replacement. Hopefully not the victim of an injury on that play. So Gandy in the backfield takes the handoff on second down and powers forward for a couple to about the 22. So
tripped up there by James Reeder coming up from the middle linebacker spot. He just had the shoestring tackle. Otherwise, Gandy, he's got some room to run. We're looking at 8, 9, 10 yards.
Instead, it will be a 3rd and 7, LA Valley at the 22 of Mount San Jacinto, trying to crawl out of a 12-0 deficit. Shotgun snap to Williams. Williams dumps it off in the flat and incomplete. Incomplete. It was juggled by Terrell Love, who couldn't quite hang on to it. And Love, I don't think he would have gotten enough for the first down, but he would have picked up positive yardage. He would have set a 4th and very short. And a missed opportunity there for LA Valley. Instead of facing about 4th and maybe 2, they're going to face 4th and 7.
And, you know, officials don't get a lot of love, but let's give them credit here. They had a great no call on first down and a great incompletion call there. If you call the fumble, that changes the entire dynamic of this drive.
Now, LA Valley will attempt what amounts to a 39-yard field goal. That is Anton Burr, who is 2 for 3 on the season, made his debut last week. And he'll have an extra minute to think it over. His timeout taken by San Jacinto. I think a little bit surprised that they were going to send Burr out there to go for the kick. Probably figured with a 12-point game, LA Valley might take a chance on 4th down.
Well, it looks like number 23, Derry Felix, for Mount San Jacinto. Well, he wasn't supposed to be on the play. He was rushing off, and rather than get the 5-yard penalty for 12 men, they had to call the timeout. So that's unfortunate. But now we want to remind you one more time that LA Valley football on SportsNetUSA.net is brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Save with new car specials with factory rebates of $2,000 on select 2017 Corollas, including the LE and Special Edition models. On the web at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Located at the 91 in Euclid, Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, and education.
12-0 Mount San Jacinto on top of LA Valley. And with 8:18 to play in the second quarter, the Monarchs will attempt a 39-yard field goal. Be Anton Burr made his debut last week, 2 for 3. Longest was 38, so this one a little bit longer than what he's been asked to do so far this season.
Couple of flags on the play.
First down for Valley. Illegal substitution. Defense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's got to be very upsetting for Casey Mazzota, head coach in his 11th season for Mount San Jacinto. You call the timeout and still couldn't get the right personnel onto the field, so that will set up a 4th and 3 following the 5-yard penalty, and will shift the thinking of Matt White. He'll send the offense back to the field. So Clarence Williams will be there with Terrell Love, the fullback, to his right. He's got Gandy behind him in the backfield. There are 2 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left. 4th and 3. Snap will come from the 18-yard line of Mount San Jacinto. Play action.
Good protection there.
Williams into the end zone and overshoots Faison Knight. Knight looked like he had a step on guy covering him in the secondary, but throw is off the mark, falls incomplete. Turnover on downs, and twice LA Valley has started inside the 30-yard line of Mount San Jacinto, and both times come away with no points.
I think there must have been some sort of miscommunication there on the route between Faison Knight and also number 19, Matthew Mattingly. To have 2 receivers running to the exact same spot, drawing 2 defenders there, doesn't make any sense.
No, just a little bit too much of a crowd in that section of the field, and now hindsight's always 20, and now Matt White may be thinking, well, if we went for the field goal, maybe we'd have 3. Now San Jacinto will keep it on the ground with Becknell on first down. After starting at their 18, Becknell runs forward to the 27. Will be close to a first down. Doesn't quite get there, though. 9-yard pickup on first down. Set up 2nd and 1.
Actually, they're moving the sticks there.
Well, I thought he had 9. The
Looks
initial
like a generous
spot, they put it at the 27, but now they're going to move it up to the 28. So generous spot. Becknell has the first down. And he will be to the right side of Jones working out of the gun. They bunch 3 receivers up on the right side of the field. Jones pump fakes twice, then decides to run with it, has nowhere to go, and is sacked for a loss at the 26.
On the sack there, we have number 47, Amir Postley for LA Valley. The 6'2", 220-pound freshman from West Catholic Prep, one of those Philly boys you were talking about.
And Postley had an interception last week. Now adding a sack to his credit.
Just one of the many contributors here on this defense.
3rd and 10, San Jacinto from their 28, leading 12-0. 7 minutes to play in the first half. 3 receivers set, 2 of them on the left side, 1 on the right. Jones, quick throw, he goes right, and that is complete but short of the first down marker. As he completes it to Jaden Lundy, his 6'3" wide receiver out of Paloma Valley, and should draw the...
And you know, Aaron, that's the kind of offense I don't understand why everybody runs. Pardon me, why everyone doesn't run, because that's just a high percentage throw that has a chance to pick up some plays and make 3rd down manageable.
3rd down and about 5 for San Jacinto at the 33 on their side of the field. They'll keep Jones in the gun. Jones under pressure, escapes to the left side and just throws this one away out of bounds. Matt White calling for an intentional grounding, but no flag on the field. Officials saying that Jones had made his way outside the tackle box. Always a tough call to make for an official, but if there's any bit of doubt, they always tend to err on that side of caution and not throw the flag.
Yeah, well, we've already talked about what it means to be an experienced quarterback, make some of these more veteran, smart plays. Great play by Sherian Jones. Don't take the sack. Just throw it away. Give your punter a chance. Don't compromise the defense and make LA Valley start again at the 30 or 25.
So see what Perine's able to do with this punt. As he's under pressure, that one is blocked. It is blocked. It is on the ground at the 25, and LA Valley has it inside the 25. It looked like that was number 46 who scooped it up, Chris Alexander, linebacker who doubles up in the special teams unit, and there's a break for LA Valley for a 3rd consecutive drive. They're going to start inside the 30. This one's going to be even better field position around the 15.
Well, there's head coach Matt White just go ahead and making that aggressive special teams play, sending Romeo going late on the blitz there on the punt. He's able to burst through the line, get the block.
Now Chris Alexander scooped up the block punt, took it to the 16-yard line. LA Valley has blocked 2 extra points, now add a blocked punt to their credit. San Jacinto had a blocked punt return for a touchdown last week, so these special team struggles are nothing new to them. 6 minutes to play, first half, 12-0 San Jacinto. LA Valley trying to get on the scoreboard. 1st and 10 starting at the San Jacinto 15. It's Schick in the backfield. Schick initially looked like he was brought down around the 17, stays on his feet and picks up a couple yards after the catch. Fights his way to the 13, should be a gain of about 3 or 4. That's as long a run as LA Valley's had tonight. The longest one I have on my count is Baskerville, who had a 5-yard run back in the first quarter.
And even despite the struggles running the ball tonight, I would expect to see them continue to just try to pound it. Eat some clock and get into the end zone.
Now 2nd down and about 6. Snap will come from the 11. Play action. Rolling to the left side is Williams. Williams looking for Mattingly in the end zone and incomplete. As Williams was knocked down to the ground just as he released the football.
Well, I think a lot of people are going to be upset because on that rollout to the left side, they had the fake block from number 89, Calvin Hampton Jr., listed as a wide receiver. In this role, he's playing more of a tight end. He's rolling out. He was wide open.
3 quarterbacks have been used for LA Valley tonight. Clarence Williams is the 3rd of them. Looking to be the first one to take the Monarchs into the end zone. There's 6 points as an offense last week. They have yet to score tonight, trailing 12-0. 5:15 to play. First half, 3rd and 6 from the enemy 11. Williams to the end zone, caught Dimitri Atkinson. And the Monarchs are on the board. They cut it in half, now trail just 12-6.
Well, that's what Clarence Williams can do. He is shifty, and he has the big arm to fit the throws into tight windows right there like he did on that slant.
11-yard touchdown pass, Clarence Williams to Dimitri Atkinson. Switched his jersey number before the game from 80 to 81.
They do like to make it difficult for us.
Man, my I guess after the touchdown, he's going to stick with 81 the rest of the season. Now Barr's extra point is up, and it is good. He was denied the field goal opportunity after Matt White elected to go for a 4th down on the last drive. So add one more to the board. Halle Valley into the end zone. 11-yard touchdown throw. Clarence Williams to Dimitri Atkinson. And with 5:09 to play in the first half, 12-7, Halle Valley down by just 5.
Well, finally the offense capitalized, but let's really give the defense credit here. That's 3 consecutive possessions that they gave the offense the ball inside the 30, then the 25, then the 17-yard line.
Right,
you better come away with a touchdown.
Right, and the defense had to be thinking, like, yeah, we gave up the 2 touchdowns early, but we've given you a pretty good field position since then. Help us out. And the offense responds. And, one of the, I think, the interesting topics coming into tonight's game is when you have one side of the ball that is clearly outperforming the other, is the defense that has outperformed the offense the entire season. How do you maintain unity? And I think the answer to that really is just you have to remember that in one game that could just as quickly flip. So you have to support your teammates because you might be the one asking them to pick you up the next week. Kick is away. It is Beckland fielding at the 10-yard line, angles to the left side, 20, on his feet, 25, 30. Thought he was out of bounds, but stays on his feet at the 50, 40, and Beckland is going to take it all the way to the end zone, 90 yards on the kick return for a touchdown. And LA Valley is, well, they're upset because I think they thought he went out of bounds. I didn't see a foot go out of bounds myself, but Jamari Becknell, 90 yards on the kickoff return for the score, and just like that, it's a 2-touchdown game, 18-7.
Well, from up here, it certainly looked like he did just tiptoe along that sideline and edge out a little bit. But just for some reference, he only had 2 returns for 22 yards before that today and along a 14.
So there are no flags on the field, and officials are setting the ball up for the extra point. So it doesn't look like LA Valley's going to catch a break and have this one come back.
No, this looks like this is going to be a touchdown for the Eagles.
So 18-7. As Becknell, a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
And regardless of whether or not he stepped out, let's give Becknell some credit. You can see he's a shorter guy. He's only 5'7", but he's listed at 174 pounds. Just really quick, stocky, quick feet.
And Becknell's Perrine's extra point is blocked for a 3rd time. It is scooped up by LA Valley and returned out to the 40, but that's as far as it will go. Looked like Jason Thompson, number 28, who scooped that up. Their scratch that may have been Jamie Whistler, number 20, who came up with the football, but
it was a heck of a play to get the block, but you have to just keep running because you're not going to get the ball there at the 48. Now we're going to have to do the kickoff. So you're better off just challenging him in a foot race, trying to get all the way down.
For LA Valley, though, that's the 3rd blocked extra point. They have a blocked punt tonight as well. At some point, if you're Mount San Jacinto, do you just say we're going to go for 2 the rest of the way when you clearly can't get a clean extra point away?
Yes.
It's going to be LA Valley starting to try to answer on the special team side. After Becknell's 90-yard kickoff return puts Mount San Jacinto up 18-7. It'll be Gary Gandy waiting to return this one for LA Valley. And San Jacinto has tried a couple of short kicks trying to catch LA Valley off guard. And we'll see if they try the same on this one. Perrine will line up the troops, set to kick it away from the 20. There must have been a penalty after the
no trick there.
Touchdown.
There's the deep kick.
It's caught by Gandy at the 25. Gandy to the right side, 40. On his feet at the 50. 40 on the San Jacinto side of the field, 30. 20 gets a block. And now they're going to say he stepped out of bounds somewhere around the 20.
Let's see exactly where they spot that.
If that foot didn't straddle the line, he was gone.
Absolutely. He should have actually been caught a couple of times. Just very elusive there.
And now they're going to back it all the way to the 40. As they say, the foot went out of bounds there.
Well, I have to admit I didn't see that.
Yeah, 35-yard return, but I think Gandy's going to feel that he was shortchanged on that one.
Well, you know tomorrow they'll be looking at that in the film session. He'll be a little upset.
Well, for LA Valley, well, time to answer again. They got on the board on their last possession. Clarence Williams, an 11-yard touchdown throw to Dimitri Atkinson, cut it to 12-7. And then Jamari Becknell, a 90-yard kickoff return. With San Jacinto up 18-7, that's where we stand now. 1st and 10, LA Valley starting at the enemy 40. A bootleg and a keeper for Clarence Williams. As he runs towards the right sideline ahead of the 30. He's going to be out of the bounds somewhere near the first down. It's just going to be a question of where that foot went out of bounds. They're going to give him a nice spot to the 26. So 14 yards on the scramble for Williams on first down, and he moves the chains quickly.
Smart design play there. We've seen a lot of actually that zone read offense from LA Valley this year, and shaking up on the plays number 92, Aumanu Manu, the 6-foot, 345-pound freshman from East Anchorage.
Yeah, East Anchorage, Alaska. Came a long way to play football, and I hope he's all right. Training staff will come out.
Well, you can see why Mount San Jacinto would want such a big defensive tackle. 6 foot, 345. That's some NFL size.
Yeah, especially if you're that big and you can run, that's a lot of momentum coming in to make tackles. He will be helped off the field by the San Jacinto training staff.
Good to see. It looks like he can just walk on his own, a little shaken up. But now with 4:33 to go and it's first down. LA Valley, ideally you want to eat some clock here in addition to scoring.
You do. I mean, look, if the touchdown's there, you take it. But if you could draw this up perfectly, you know, it would be an extended drive, get the yardage little by little. Williams is in the gun. He's got Baskerville, the running back, to his left side, and it's a pitch, run to the left, ahead of the 20, and out of bounds around the 18. Should be 8 more yards.
I couldn't quite get the number there, but some secondary member came up and laid the wood on Erechmus, but, you know, he just bounced off.
Yeah, so Baskerville coming to LA Valley from New Jersey. Picked up 7 on first down, and it'll be 2nd and 3 from the enemy 18. And timeout taken by LA Valley. They didn't have to take it right away as the play clock still had 15 seconds on it. But they will stop the clock with 4:16 to play. They'll have one timeout left in their pocket, trailing 18-7. But a lot of pressure on the Monarchs offense right now. Need to get into the end zone. Really want to cut this to a one-score game before halftime. They did just that on the previous possession, only to allow the special teams touchdown. And with Williams in the game on the last drive, I think if nothing else, they established a little bit of rhythm offensively. Williams made a nice throw into the end zone. Seems like they're willing to open up the playbook a little bit more for him. They've had him throw into the end zone a number of times. Some of those were, well, obviously all but the one were incomplete. But with Williams, it seems they, maybe out of necessity, are just willing to take a few more risks. But,
yeah, they are willing to take a few more risks. However, they haven't had much luck completing a lot of passes. They are willing to attempt some of these things, but they're not getting a lot to show for it. They would be much better off if they can get this running game going. Just move the chains, get some clock. That's going to help your defense as well. They must be exhausted right now.
Oh, absolutely. It was Baskerville, the running back, who had a nice 7-yard run to open the series of downs. 2nd and 3, LA Valley at the 18 of San Jacinto. 4:15 to play in the first half. LA Valley trailing 18-7. Williams, the quarterback, in the gun. Will pitch it to Baskerville, right side. Baskerville look to the end zone to throw it. Then eats it, cuts back to the left side. 15-10 on his feet into the end zone, and a touchdown. 18-yard run for Baskerville on what was initially looking like he was going to have to throw it into the end zone. Everybody back there, good job in coverage by Mount San Jacinto, but then they forgot to account for the fact that he could actually run the ball.
I keep trying to decide. Did they call a fake pitch or pass from the running back, or did he just realize that the receiver was covered? Maybe he should play quarterback.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to think the original intent was for him to throw the ball if there was somebody open. And I have to credit Baskerville on that play because when you try trick plays like that, you ask a running back to look into the end zone, a lot of them forget that they don't have to throw the ball. So they'll force off the bad throw if nothing is there. And in the meantime, Barr's extra point goes off the bar. So special teams kicking struggles by both squads as LA Valley comes up empty on the extra point. They get 6, not 7, but they cut it to 18-13 with 4 minutes to play in the first half. And LA Valley cuts it to a one-score game. Time for the defense to step up now.
Well, one timeout each here, and if you're Mount San Jacinto, 4 minutes, this is what we call the 4-minute offense for a reason. Now you want to drive the ball, you want to eat a little bit of clock, and you have time to score one more.
So one timeout for Mount San Jacinto to work with, 4 minutes on the clock. Jamari Becknell, a 90-yard kickoff return for San Jacinto on the last return. So for LA Valley, want to make sure that...
Kicking away from him.
Yes.
And tell those officials, make sure you watch the sideline.
It looks like it's Stewart on the near side, Becknell on the far side of the field. As the kick is short to the 30. And it'll be a 10-yard return out to the 40. That is Macklin on the return.
And let's go ahead and credit Ivan Myrtelis, the 6'1" DB from St. Clement High School in Medford, Massachusetts, on the special team stop.
So LA Valley gave up the 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. They've been pretty good since then. Not allowed any second quarter points. And they'll have to stand tall one more time. If they can force a 3 and out, LA Valley might get the ball back with some time to do a little damage offensively. So 4:01 on the clock in the first half. 18-13 Mount San Jacinto. Jones the quarterback.
Looks like the Eagles are just trying to spread them out.
Yeah, 2 receivers on the right, a receiver and a tight end on the left. Jones rolling right, chase from behind, and fires towards the sideline, completes it. And enough for the first down. As he hooks up with the receiver, Kifa Court.
Court's all over the field tonight.
Yeah, 6 catches last week, 2 of them so far tonight. Going to be a 13-yard completion to Court. 102 yards through the air for Jones tonight. So Jones hurries the offense to the line of scrimmage, 3:40 and counting on the clock. 18-13 San Jacinto, and they are on the LA Valley side of the field. 1st and 10 from the 47. Spread formation again. 2 receivers on the left, joined by a tight end, 1 on the right. It's Becknell in the backfield. Becknell gets the call and finds an opening on the right side, hits the seam, and runs to the 35 before he's brought down from behind. 12 yards for Becknell, his longest rush of the night. And another first down for Mount San Jacinto.
One of those things you see with the shorter running backs, they have that low center of gravity, makes them really shifty and really hard to bring down. They have that elusive capability.
And from the kick return for a touchdown, we know he has good speed once he has some open field. 3:05 to play, first half. San Jacinto by 5. They have it 1st and 10 at the LA Valley 35. Becknell to the left side of Jones, working out of the gun. 3 receivers on the left side. LA Valley fakes the blitz, then backs up. The defensive line stands tall against Becknell. Hit him at the line of scrimmage, although credit Becknell for being able to stay on his feet, work his way forward for a couple yards after the initial hit. He will turn nothing into something, takes to the 32, 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 coming up.
Mount San Jacinto doing a great job of working the clock here. You're seeing them continually use all the play clock as we're approaching 2:30 to go right now.
And just 1 timeout in their pocket and under 2.5 minutes to play. Eventually they're going to have to speed it up a little bit, but I think right now, kind of trying to play both sides, make sure they can move the football but still not leave LA Valley enough time to do anything in response should they get the football back. And now we... So an issue with the clock. And they reset the play clock to 25, 2:10 and counting on the game clock. It'll be second and about 9 for San Jacinto from the LA Valley 32. Jones in the gun, 1 extra blocker, 4 receivers downfield, airs it into the end zone. He was looking for Stewart. That's a miscommunication on the route. Stewart ran straight. I think Jones expected him to make a cut to the right. Instead falls incomplete, and coverage on the play by Jamie Whistler in the secondary.
Yeah, and the pressure there did not do him any favors as well. got a little bit anxious. So here on third and we'll call it 7, Aaron. 1:56 to go.
Yeah, third and about 7.5 from the 32-yard line. Jones will stay in the gun. They have 3 receivers on the left side. He has 1 extra blocker to his left. That is Adrian. Jones looking downfield. There's nothing there. Just decides to run with it up the middle. Takes it to the 30, only about 2. It'll set up 4th and 5. It'll be a 47-yard field goal from here, and with 3 blocked extra points and a blocked punt already tonight, I can't imagine they're going to send Perrine out here to try a career long. So you got to figure the offense is going to stay on the field.
True. So now at 4th and 5, something that all these coordinators seem to forget. You need 5 yards. 5 yards. You don't need the touchdown right now. So let's go ahead and just get the first down. Keep moving the ball.
The ball is at the 30. Need to get to the 25. Jones with 2 receivers on each side of the field. Looking downfield, nothing there. Under pressure, slips to the right, unloads down the sideline, and catch is made right at the 25-yard line where they needed to go for the first down. So Jones stayed poised. Nobody was open initially and decided to move with his legs, see if he could just buy his receivers a little bit of time to just that, and completed it down the sidelines. I didn't see who it was who made that reception.
I think it was Kiefer Core once again.
That would be his 3rd catch of the night. 3 catches, 23 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 for San Jacinto at the 24 of LA Valley. They already lead 18-13, 1:08 to play. Jones out of the gun, looking towards the end zone and overshoots his man. Targeting Kiefer Cord again. They've hooked up 3 times in the first half. Good coverage on the play by Jamie Whistler.
And you can really see the talent here from Jones. He's 6'3", stands in there. He can rifle some of these throws. He's elusive. He can move. You can see why he went to Tennessee in the first place. And Mount San Jacinto, they're lucky to get a talented bounce back like this.
Now 2nd down and 10 from the LA Valley 24. Minute to play. 3 receivers left side, 1 to the right. Jones with time. Looks to the left, and it is complete to the 6. And a hard hit made on the receiver. That was Macklin who made the catch. He has the first down.
And that was Gunt that came up and laid the wood.
Well, it'll be 1st and goal for San Jacinto following an 18-yard completion to Jalen Macklin, his 2nd reception of the night. And LA Valley going to have to come up with a goal line stand if they want to avoid falling down 2 scores before the end of the half. 18-13 our score. San Jacinto on top of LA Valley. 38 seconds and counting. Each side with 1 timeout remaining.
The Eagles really taking their time here.
And 1st and goal from the 6. Jones out of the gun. Dumps it off short. It is caught at the 1. There's a hit, but did he get into the end zone? Daniel Singer was the receiver. Officials talking it over.
To me, it looked like he got in the end zone. The pylon was knocked down.
Yeah, the hit came at the 1-yard line, and then eventually looked like he was able to reach it over. I still haven't seen an official raise his arms into the air to signal touchdown, but with the clock stopped at 13, no timeout. I mean, I've got to assume they called it a touchdown, but no communication on the field as to...
It looks like it. They just changed the scoreboard to 24, and the offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, so 6-yard reception to Daniel Singer. That's his 1st catch of the night. He's the leading receiver on the season, but first time he's been targeted all night, and now they're going to go for 2. They've had 3 extra points blocked. So Jones will await the shotgun snap. Motion from left to right. Jones looking into the end zone and completes it to Singer. Same play as the one before. So Singer with a touchdown reception and a 2-point conversion. San Jacinto comes away with 8 extra points before the end of the half. And with just 13 seconds on the clock in the first half, 24-13, or 26-13, excuse me, San Jacinto leading LA Valley.
And they're smart there, Aaron. just they're utilizing that rollout again and again and again to get Sherian Jones more time to throw the ball. And they can't cover these receivers on the crossing pattern. They're open every single time. Jones hitting them on the dime, and there we go, touchdowns.
3 touchdown throws rather for Sharon Jones in the first half, having his best game since the opener against Compton, which he had 4 touchdowns. So Jones had thrown an interception in every game this season, threw 2 of them last week, but it's been unscathed so far tonight, putting up a very impressive performance. So LA Valley going to have to figure out a way to stop him. CJ Claiborne going to have his head full in the locker room at halftime. Short kick on the ground. Gandy will scoop it up at the 20. Try to stay on his feet, but really nothing ever materialized there. Tackled to the 22, just a 2-yard return. And with 7 seconds on the clock, wouldn't be surprised to see LA Valley just take a knee here before the end of the half.
I would think you have to. Why risk getting anyone hurt? Why risk the interception, the fumble? Let's just go into halftime. Because if you're the offense, you really have to capitalize here. That's the story of this game so far, Aaron. The defense has given up 26 points, which is 3 more than they average per game. However, the offense hasn't been able to do anything with their opportunities.
No, I mean, they've come away empty a few times deep in the San Jacinto territory, and really not a whole lot in the playbook to get 77 yards on one play, although Williams will be in the gun. You got Baskerville behind him, and 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They'll give it to Baskerville. Baskerville run to the left side on his feet. First down at the 40. 45. Clock is at 0-0, so
time to go
down.
As long
as he goes to the ground, he'll get tackled at the 50, and what amounts just a little stat padding for Baskerville. 27-yard run to close out the first half, but that will bring us to intermission. San Jacinto doubling up LA Valley 26-13 at the break. 3 touchdown throws for Sharon Jones in the first half. 2 of them to Stewart, 1 of them to Singer. 3rd and a long 9. El Manu in for the tackle for Mount San Jacinto. Zamano got hurt near the end of the first half, so glad to see him on his feet and able to go. So Williams in the gun, 3rd and 9, LA Valley from their 40. Williams rolling right. Looking for the first down the sidelines, incomplete. He skipped it to Devin Hextall, but a flag comes out at the end of the play. It was incomplete. Throw was short to Hextall, who looked to be open down the sidelines. We'll wait to see what Joe Conti, our referee, has to say tonight. So we should have the video back for you, so apologies for the difficulties getting that going here to start the second half.
After the play, personal foul, number 75 offense. Down will be 4th down.
Personal foul after the play. That was Martin Ibarra called for it. So since it came after the play, the incompletion on 3rd down stands back it up 15 yards, change things in the field position game. And 4th and a mile, out comes Romeo Gunt and company to punt this one away in a game when you're trailing by 2 touchdowns already. Your offense just went 3 and out to start. Field position ever so important. You can't have dumb penalties like that. As Gunt just gets that one away. Low kick, short hang time. Hits the 45 of Mount San Jacinto. Then takes a friendly roll for LA Valley all the way back to the 30.
You know, Aaron, it did take Aaron, it did take the friendly roll. However, we have to give some credit to Noah Barber. He really chased that down, and even though it was a flat punt, well, that did allow for the defenders to come down with the chase, able to prevent the recovery.
So Mount San Jacinto will start at their 30 when the kick initially might be closer to midfield. Now, Sharon Jones had a stellar first half. The bounce back from the University of Tennessee, 128 yards and 3 touchdown passes in that first half. Got San Jacinto out to a 26-13 lead. First crack at it offensively here in the second half. And on first down, fires the left side. It is complete, and extra yardage after the catch is good for a first down. It was Kifa Court, 4th reception of the night.
And one of the things that's key when you have those quick swing passes to the outside, the other receiver on the side of that formation has to get the block. So number 14, Jalen Lundy, well, he did an excellent job of springing loose Kifa Court.
A fresh set of downs for Mount San Jacinto. 1st and 10 From their 40, they'll keep it on the ground to Becklin. Becklin bounces to the left side, 45-50, and has another first down out to the 48 of LA Valley. So about 13 yards for Becknell, whose biggest play of the night was a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in the second quarter. So getting it done on special teams and now making a name for himself as the running back tonight. Is the team's leading rusher this season. His best game was against Glendale a few weeks ago, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns in that one.
And it kind of looks like the LA Valley defense here a little bit tired, just like they were to end the first half.
Well, they've been asked to be on the field an awful lot. 1st and 10 for San Jacinto from the LA Valley 48. They'll keep it on the ground with Becknell, and he will take it up to the 44. The 3 yards for Becknell on first down, set up 2nd and 7. For San Jacinto, the big plays have come in the passing game. The 3 touchdown throws from Jones, but they've been able to balance it just enough with the rushing attack, including a 38-yard run by Jones himself that forces LA Valley to creep up a little bit. And then when they try those deep plays downfield, the opportunities have been there.
Might be open.
2nd and 7, San Jacinto at the LA Valley 44. It'll be Jones in the gun, 2 receivers on the left side, receiver and a tight end on the right. Jones looking downfield, nothing there initially. Then takes a deep shot down the left side and falls incomplete. Led the receiver out of bounds, intended for, once again, for Kiefer Court.
Gunton coverage there just stayed right on his hip the whole time. That forced that precise throw to the sideline, which is really hard to complete.
A big play for the LA Valley defense, 3rd and 7. San Jacinto already in LA Valley territory at the 44. The Monarchs really need to get off the field. Already down 13 points, can't afford to fall behind anymore. It'll be a 4-receiver set, 3 of them stacked up on the left side for San Jacinto. 3rd and 7 at the LA Valley 44. Play clock winding down, it hits 0. Question is, did they get the timeout off in time?
And that's the second delay of game that we've gotten so far today.
Yeah, the Casey Mazzotta wanted a timeout, but unable to get it called in time. 3rd and 12 instead of 3rd and 7. Makes the job a little bit easier for the Monarchs defenders.
And as the old saying goes, there aren't a lot of plays in the playbook that are designed for 3rd and 12. You can pick up 7 yards on quite a few plays. 12, not so much.
No, so Jones is going to presumably have to throw it here. Obvious passing situation. 3 receivers stay on the left side. Said he will air it out over the middle on a slant and incomplete. Looking for Macklin. And pass was broken up by LA Valley. Diamond Harrell in coverage. Big 6'3" member of the secondary out of Shamondale College Prep in Southern California.
And that's a tough spot there for Sharon Jones. He got sandwiched in between number 38, Malik Crenshaw, and number 55, Carlo Gentry.
The offense will stay on the field, 4th and 12 at midfield, and
the quarterback
strictly
punts.
Jones, the quarterback, will punt it. He'll get it inside the 15 and roll inside the 10.
Well, he did a great job of catching the defense off balance there, and also he's a triple threat. The man can run, the man can throw, and apparently the man can kick.
Apparently so. You know, when I was a kid, they used to have these punt, pass, and kick competitions that they would run at NFL stadiums. I wonder if Jones participated in any of those.
I wouldn't be surprised if he won 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, and the reason for the design of that play, having the quarterback punt, is that it prevents the receiving team from sending a man deep to return it. So basically, whatever yards the guy kicks the ball is generally none of it's going to be made up on a return. That was the case there for San Jacinto. They pin LA Valley deep at the 8-yard line. 12 minutes to play, 3rd quarter, 26-13 San Jacinto. And LA Valley 92 yards away from the end zone. Clarence Williams out of the gun, gives it on a delayed handoff to Gandy. Gandy runs the right side, has the first down, 20. And out to the 27, 19 yards for Gary Gandy. The longest run for him tonight.
And Gandy, you know, he made that first defender miss. However, he was able to slow him up just enough so Andrew Berry, the leading tackler for this team, was able to come up. I believe that's his 4th stop on the night.
So 1st and 10, LA Valley at their 27, trying to crawl out of that 13-point hole. Gary in the backfield again gets the call. This time tries to run right. It doesn't have a whole lot of room. Takes it to 31, but still a good 4-yard run. Sets up 2nd and 6.
That's a tough run, and that's okay on first down. All you're doing is moving the chains. You're making each down more and more manageable so we don't get stuck in these 3rd and 12s.
Right. LA Valley has had a lot of problems on 3rd downs this season, just 20% as a team, and part of the reason, a lot of 3rd and long. So the better you do on 1st and 2nd down, the more manageable your 3rd down is going to be. 2nd and 6. LA Valley from their 31. Williams, shotgun snap. Rolls right, finds Dalton Ordonez in the flat, and Ordonez caught at the 35 and was immediately slammed into the ground. A bear hug tackle delivered by Jamie Jinks, 5'11" member of the secondary. But that gain was good for 4, and it'll be 3rd down and a very manageable 2.
Again, nothing flashy there, but 3rd and 2, much more achievable.
3rd and 2, LA Valley at their 35. Gandy in the backfield, 4-receiver set. Williams out of the gun, airs it out for Atkinson down the sidelines, and incomplete, overthrew him. Some members on the Monarch sidelines hoping for pass interference. They don't get it. Officials, I think a good no call. Got to let the players play. And Atkinson, who had a touchdown reception from Williams in the 2nd quarter, comes up empty on the deep ball. And LA Valley, once again, has to send the punting unit out.
That was a good no call. However, you needed 2 yards. We've stressed this all night long, Aaron. You don't need to throw the ball 25 yards down the field.
And they'll fake it again with Gunt. Gunt running the left side. Flag comes out. Gunt has the 1st down if it stands.
I believe that one will be coming back. Usually that's offensive holding when you see the call in the backfield there.
Yeah, he needed 2. He got 4. And the official points in the direction of LA Valley. So Gunt, aided by the help of the holding penalty, picked up the 1st down, but they're going to give it right back. And for LA Valley, that was Jason Thompson, guilty of the hold, a sophomore out of Colorado.
So here we are back in that 4th and 12 like we've been talking about so much lately. What do you think, Aaron? We're going to get the punt here?
Well, I think you have to. Surprised they tried it a 2nd time.
Nearly blocked.
Yeah, Gunt just able to get that one away.
Tyler Freeman right there.
So fair catch called for at the 49-yard line of LA Valley. So San Jacinto will have good field position as they try to build on what is already a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, we've seen that pretty much at this point in the game, the LA Valley defense, they are dog-tired. If they can come up and get a stop, maybe give your offense some sort of field position, you got to hope they can get something going to take the pressure off this team. We don't have the time of possession in front of us, but I would guess that it's heavily in Mount San Jacinto's favor. Jones takes the snap and the pass. Completed out in the flat.
Slings it to the right side and complete for a short gain. That was caught by Laquan Washington, who's been mostly used in the return game this season for San Jacinto. Hasn't returned a kick or a punt tonight. Not seeing his first action on the field as a receiver. Picks up 5 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and a short 5. So Jones has done a good job distributing the football. By my count, that is 6 different receivers that he's been able to find tonight.
The other impressive aspect about Jones's game tonight, he does have the 3 touchdowns. Well, last week, no scores, 3 interceptions. He's taking care of the ball tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of the gun on 2nd and 5 from the LA Valley 45. A bunch of 3 receivers on the left side. Fake a handoff to Becknell, and then on the run, throws it to Stewart, caught at the 15, and Stewart will walk it in the rest of the way into the end zone. Got past Gunt in the secondary. 3rd touchdown reception of the night from Michael Stewart. 4th touchdown pass from Sharon Jones. And all Mount San Jacinto 32-13 as they are pouring it on.
Stewart, well, he's just a fast guy. We've seen that on all 3 of his touchdowns today. The safety was not able to rotate over from the middle of the field quick enough. Either that or the corner underneath, he thought that he had safety help when in reality he did not. It's going to be one of those 2 things. But credit to the receiver for being fast enough to make a play.
So they're going to go for 2. They converted their 1 2-point conversion. It was a short throw to Singer on the right side of the field to keep it on the ground. This time Becknell straight up the gut.
I think he's going to have it.
Well, I thought he was short initially. And the officials
They
will
agree
signal
with you.
no good on the 2-point conversion. So after having 3 extra points blocked in the first half, San Jacinto has just decided enough is enough in terms of the kicking game. They're just going to go for 2 from here on out, we assume. So they get 6, not 8. But the damage is done 32-13. Mount San Jacinto beating up LA Valley at home in front of a shocked Monarchs crowd that's turned a bit subdued. They had a 19-game winning streak, which is the longest in California, snapped last week on the road. Lost a 6-3 lead in the fourth quarter, ended up falling 10-6. And tonight against a team that on paper, LA Valley should be the better team. We expected them to come out and, I wouldn't say have an easy win, but we expected them to be the favorite playing at home, and particularly with all the talent on defense, but they have not had an answer for the Jones to Stewart connection. They've combined for 3 touchdowns tonight.
The Jones and Stewart connection has been impressive, but also that Becknell running game. Jamari's been very, very impressive tonight, and he's a chain mover. He can get you those chunk plays, and don't forget that punt return.
Another short kick for Perrine. This one caught at the 35 and returned to the 40. And for LA Valley, that was Devin Parks. Big 225-pound linebacker on what's his first, and I think what the Monarchs hope will be his only kick return of the season.
Well, if you're Mount San Jacinto, you have to think that you're going to catch them off balance here. And on that play, Parks actually, the Monarch behind him ran into his back. It's fortunate that he caught that ball. It looked like there may have been a fumble, in which case, that's free game for anyone. But now the Monarchs get the ball at the 45-yard line. Mount San Jacinto, if they score here, you're inviting them back in with these short kicks.
Now 32-13, LA Valley trailing by 3 touchdowns, 9:20 to play in the third quarter. Another quarterback change. Kalawaya Judd in for the first time out of the gun. Fires to the left side. It is complete to Schick. On the San Jacinto side of the field, he caught the ball at the 40. Took it out another 9 yards after the catch to the 31. A 24 yards completion from Kalawaya Judd, the 4th LA Valley quarterback.
Well, Aaron, we talked
to be
about
used
this
tonight.
We talked about this at halftime, and Judd, he's been shaken up really for the past calendar year, maybe even 13 months. He hasn't looked right. So it's interesting that they would be willing to put him in right now. But down by 3 touchdowns at home in a game you should win, let's see if he can gut it out. Because despite the fact that Sebastiano has played well at different times this year, as well as Clarence Williams, Judd is the best quarterback on this roster.
Right, as far as talent, yes. The question is he healthy? The mobility clearly wasn't there early in the season. When we spoke to Jason Vandiver before that Desert game 4 weeks ago, he told us Judd was at about 80%. At that time, they were hoping he'd progress a little bit since then. Hasn't quite worked out on the season, just a 43% completion mark. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, just 15-34 last week. And threw another pick. So they elected to keep him on the bench, see if maybe time was the answer, but with hardly any type of offensive productivity out of the other 3 quarterbacks, I think Vandiver said, look, he's my most talented guy. Even if he's not 100%, we got to throw him out there and see what he can do.
As long as it's not putting him in jeopardy, you would hope that that's what they would want to do. It seems to be the best thing for the team. And you never want to be down by 19, effectively 3 touchdowns, because that means that essentially you have to stop them every time out and you have to score every time out. But with 9:11 to go in the third quarter, you have time. Now you just have to play up to your potential.
Right, plenty of time. And, we talked about in the pregame about how when one side of the ball outperforms the other, you have to maintain that team unity and not get down on each other. Well, the defense has held up their end of the bargain all season long. Tonight, they haven't had it. Right, they've given up the 4 deep touchdown throws, and because of that, now they're going to have to rely on the offense to pick up the slack and try to get them back in the game. 32-13 the score, 9 minutes to play in the third. And Judd in at quarterback, LA Valley on the move. 1st and 10 from the San Jacinto 32. Judd, time to throw, airs out over the middle. It is caught by Jones at the 5-yard line. And quickly down there, but a 27-yard completion.
Well, you can see what the offense is going to be. That's 2 plays with Judd, and that's 50 yards on 2 throws. They go 4 wide with the receiving back in.
So 52 yards on 2 completions for Kalawaya Judd, who will give it away to Schick on 1st and goal from the 5. Flags come out as the ball is snapped.
I'm guessing this one's going to be a false start.
Yeah, those penalties have been an issue.
Not San Jacinto before the snap.
Well, timeout San Jacinto. Okay, so the flag was picked up. No flag on the play. It'll be first and goal for LA Valley at the 5. And now trailing by 3 touchdowns, still plenty of time. So the clock is not going to be a factor in what you call here. You've seen Judd air it out, give this offense a little bit of a spark. I think you probably stick with him through the air. I would have to think you try to take a couple shots in the end zone with Judd's right arm.
Absolutely. The other thing that you're going to look for with Judd here, I would not expect to see a lot of him running the ball, a lot of him scrambling. Like you've said, that mobility not there with him being a little bit dinged up.
So the last completion, 29 yards. That was to Justin Jacobs. The Kalawaya Judd missed most of his freshman season last year after hurting his knee. Came from Hawaii. Thought he was going to split time with Christian Jorgensen last year. Instead, ended up going down about 3 weeks into the season. Not quite 100%, but looking good so far on his first drive tonight. First and goal, LA Valley at the 5, trailing by 19. We Judd in the gun, Schick in the backfield. Schick gets the call. Schick hit from behind, stays on his feet at the 3, and powers forward for about another yard. They're going to mark him down at the 2. So a 3-yard pickup for Schick. Well, inch his way closer to the goal line. Second and goal at the 2 for LA Valley. And now you have options. You can give it. You can continue to try to run it up the middle. You can maybe try some kind of bootleg. Put Judd in motion, although with his limited mobility, I think they may be a little hesitant to do that.
And they're bringing in the bigger running back with Baskerville.
Now Baskerville with the handoff, and Baskerville untouched into the end zone. 2-yard touchdown run for Baskerville. He's been the leading rusher tonight and gives LA Valley some sign of life as they pull within 13, 32-19, 8:14 to play in the third. So down by 12, or down by 13. Excuse me, do you think about going for 2? Is it too early to think about that? If you get a 2-point conversion, then you're a field goal, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion away from tying it? Or are we just playing math games unnecessarily here?
I think that we're overthinking this one a little bit, and it looks like so does head coach Matt White is going to go for the PAT.
Yeah, so Barr in for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So add one more to the board, 32-20. LA Valley within 12, 8:15 to play in the third quarter, and Kalawaya Judd comes in, leads the offense down the field, couple of deep throws, and then the running backs take over, get it into the end zone. And if LA Valley can look like that offensively, they still have a shot in this game. Now time for the defense to stand up and make some of those signature plays that we've become so used to seeing them make, for me, over the last couple of years. But you saw them against Desert, and it was one big play after another.
Right, as you said, Aaron, Judd comes in, he injects a little bit of energy into that offense. That first play to Schick, that was a well-designed play that got Schick open. The second play, I believe that one was a completion to Austin Moore, the big tight end. That was just a heck of a throw down the seam that not a lot of quarterbacks can make. That's what Judd brings to the table, and that's really what they're hoping for the rest of this game. A little bit of miscommunication on who needs to be lined up where.
So the kick will come from the 35-yard line. It is low to the ground, skips at the 35, and then goes out of bounds. And out comes the flag. When you put a low to the ground, what you try to do is try to put it in the hands of maybe some bigger fullback or offensive lineman who's not used to handling the football. What you don't want to do is kick it out of bounds. Right. You don't get to leave the football where it goes out. It's going to creep up to the 35 in college.
Right, and that's first and second line on those return teams. You're going to see a lot of fullback, tight end, linebacker type athletes. Not a lot of guys are used to having the ball. So as you said, you're thinking maybe the hands aren't going to be quite as dependable.
32-20, San Jacinto with the lead and the football. They'll start at their 35 following the kickoff that sailed out of bounds. Jones with his 4 touchdown passes tonight works out of the gun. First down, moves to the right, looks downfield, then decides to dump it off short to Becknell, who can't handle it, knocks it into the air. And fortunately for Mount San Jacinto, LA Valley not able to pounce on it quickly enough. But if that ball had hung up just a little bit longer, if there had been a Monarch maybe just a tad closer. That could have easily been intercepted.
No, there's a chance for an interception, but that one's really on Sharon Jones. He had a chance on the rollout. They're creating time for him, and he decides to check it down to Becknell, who wasn't quite ready for it. He also put a lot of juice on that one. Looked like Aaron Rosenberg back in his pitching days.
2nd and 10, San Jacinto from their 35. Jones stays in the gun, dumps it off in the flat. Gone to the 33, and some good yards after the catch. Out to the 41. It's a gain of about 6 on the reception by Laquan Washington, his 2nd of the night.
Well, that seems to be a generous spot. From there, we're looking at almost a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it looks to me like the tackle was made right on the 41-yard line, but the officials move it up to the 43. So LA Valley going to have to come up with a big stop on 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. San Jacinto from their 32. Low shotgun snap handled by Jones. Dumps it off on the left side, complete for a 1st down, and close to the 50-yard line. And 6 more. That was complete to Laquan Washington for a 2nd straight play.
Yeah, just really sure hands there. You can see from the 5'10" receiver. He had a defender draped all over him, and he was still able to bring it in behind him and then move forward to get the 1st down.
So LA Valley has been unable to come up with any kind of answer for Sharon Jones in the passing game. 185 yards for Jones and 4 touchdown passes, 32-20. Mount San Jacinto with the lead, 7 minutes to play in the 3rd. 1st and 10 on top of the Monarchs logo at the 50-yard line. Jones rolling to his right, looking towards the sidelines, and overthrown over the head of Cameron Watley, who's listed as a defensive lineman, but doubling up as a receiver tonight. So LA Valley is bent a little bit on this series of downs, but they have to make sure they don't break. It's basically need to come up with stops from here on out the rest of the night, trailing by 12.
Right, and the way they've been carved up tonight, you would have to think they'd be hesitant to bring pressure, which means that it's going to put a lot of pressure on your secondary to hold up in this coverage.
All right, Jones has handled the blitz as well when they've come his way. He's only been sacked once. We'll give it away to Becknell on 2nd down. He'll run it up the middle, pick up 4 to the 46. And Becknell's biggest contribution tonight was the 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. In the 2nd quarter, he's got 48 yards on the ground tonight as a rusher. 6.5 minutes on the clock, 3rd quarter. And San Jacinto up by 12.
LA Valley, call me Captain Obvious, but they need to stop here. If you continue to drive, continue to put pressure on this defense, and you get another score, this game just gets harder and harder.
Since they haven't been able to get pressure on Jones, they're deciding to maybe bring some guys back a little bit. They do get the pressure on this time. Jones has to dump it off early. So he was looking for Becknell on a screen pass. That play never quite developed as the receiver's back was still turned to the football, never knew it was coming. And falls into the ground incomplete. LA Valley will have another chance to get off the field if they can come up with a stop.
Well, the big Malik Crenshaw, the linebacker, coming in at 6'3", 215, he was the one bringing the pressure. But they had the right play dialed up, as you said. Against a blitz, a screen, that's the way you want to go. You get the ball quick. All everyone else has dropped back to accommodate for that blitz, and there's room to run. They just got there so fast that they didn't have a chance to make a play.
And Jones will kick this one away to the 15, where it will be scooped up by Gunt. And Gump, with no help from any blockers, only picks up a couple on the return. A few guys in the area, including Stewart, who has 3 touchdown receptions for San Jacinto tonight. So LA Valley will start at their 18. But some signs of life for the offense on the last drive. They put together their best-looking drive of the night. Going the distance, 2 deep throws from Kalawaya Judd amounting to 52 yards. Then the running backs took over inside the 10-yard line. As Baskerville capped it off with a 2-yard touchdown run.
Aaron, I think we might have to go check head coach Matt White's blood pressure at the end of this game, because when Gunt comes up and receives that kickoff or the punt late, he must be stressed out.
The Monarchs starting from their 18. Judd airs it out on 1st down. Receiver knocked to the ground, and here comes the flag. Devin Hextall collided with the secondary. They're going to get the pass interference. Looked like it was Lanil Barrow-Jackson in coverage. And he played the man, not the ball.
Yeah, he tripped him up there. And not what his intention was. However, it's the right call. You have to give him the 15 yards. You can see with Judd, they're coming out. They're stretching the field. They're throwing it deep. And Hextall's the perfect player to throw it to, standing at 6'3". That's one of my favorite things about this LA Valley team. They have so many big receivers, and they have different kinds of athletes.
Yeah, ironically, it was not Kalawaya Judd, but Krista Jorgensen who threw the deep balls last year. Judd was kind of the short yardage quarterback before he went down with his injury in a 2-quarterback system. But Judd has been asked to throw the deep ball tonight, and he's had success doing it. 1st and 10, LA Valley from their 33. They trail by 12. 5:45 to play in the third quarter. Bootleg, and Judd takes off with it. Judd going to be close to the first down markers. He got across the 40. Out of bounds somewhere around the 42 or 43. It'll depend on the spot. Waiting for Joe Conti to get the word from the sideline judge.
If that's the spot. About 2 yards short.
Yeah, then went back to the 41. So spot looked a little bit stingy from here, but to be fair, it was on the far side of the field. And the reason they don't officiate games from the press box. So 8 yards on the scramble by Judd on a designed bootleg. 2nd and 2. LA Valley from their 41. Judd clapping his hands, wants the ball quickly with the play clock winding down to 5. Gandy is in the backfield, and a whistle blows.
That'll be a false start on the left guard or the left tackle, one of those two.
Yeah, there was Gregory Nathaniel. Well, 365 pounds of him. Hard to miss if you jump. Another one of those Philly guys. We've had a bunch of them over the last 2 seasons at LA Valley. So 5:15 and counting in the third. LA Valley will face a 2nd and 7 at their 37. Judd in the gun is Gandy behind him. 4-receiver set. Dumps it off short. It's Faison Knight catching at the 38. And Knight trying to do a shimmy dance, shake off the would-be tacklers in pursuit. Unable to do it, falls to the ground, and really took himself out of the play there.
Now there you want to see Faison Knight just run that route a little bit deeper, because all he does is pick up 1 yard, if that. And then after he does corral in the ball, what does he do? Well, he dances from side to side. You're better off at a certain point, especially when you've got guys on your tail. Just go upfield, get the yardage.
3rd and 7, LA Valley from their 37. The third down struggles well documented for the Monarchs. But they need this one. Gandy's in the backfield, but I expect him to be a decoy. They'll dump it off short to Knight. Knight catches around the line of scrimmage, looks for a second opening, and only takes it to the 40. He needed 7. He picks up 4.
Well defended by the second level there for Mount San Jacinto. They did not bite on the screen. The defensive line came up the field, which is what you want. The linebackers dropped. What does that do? That puts them in great position to come up and make the tackle, because it takes a second for that screenplay to develop.
Well, a 12-point game and 4 minutes to go in the third. But they will not go for it on 4th and 2. Instead, Gunt will punt this one away to Stewart, who catches it backpedaling. Stewart at the 10-yard line. Backpedals to the 6. And then driven into the ground by L.A. Valley. It was Ivan Mertillis who came in to make the stop, and Stewart lost about 10 yards. His momentum was taking him backwards as he received that football and never really able to recover it, get anything going in the forward direction. So LA Valley has pinned San Jacinto deep at the 5.
Well, that's one of those characteristics that you do see in a lot of playmakers. Like I just said, they want to back up because they feel like they're getting space. They have a chance where they've made plays their whole life. But sometimes you're better off just admitting that I'm not going to make a big play, but I'm also not going to lose yardage for my team. Being at the 10 is a heck of a lot better than being at the 5.
And I'd say maybe you try a fair catch in that situation, except players often advise not to call for fair catches inside the 10. So if you drop it, then it's a live football. So Jones and company backed up at their 6 for San Jacinto. Jones moving to his left, throws to the sidelines. Pass is bobbled as it is received by Kiefer Court. And did he have control of the football as he went out of bounds?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to say he did not have possession there, but heck of a throw by Sharon Jones.
Clock is continuing to roll, though, at 3:20 and counting in the third.
Yeah, that's a mistake that the umpires will want to correct here.
So we'll see if they add a few seconds back. It's now reads 3:18, should be about 3:30 or so.
And as any quarterback will tell you, especially if are right-handed, he's rolling out to his left there. So he has to throw the ball across his body. And what does that mean, especially when you're rolling and you can't set your feet? That is all arm strength right there. And did you see the rifle he put in? Kid's got special arm talent.
Yeah, well, he was in the SEC for 2 seasons, redshirted in 2015.
Wow, they put almost 20 seconds back on the clock there.
Yes, we'll wait for the clock to get straightened out. But anyway, back to Jones. He redshirted at the University of Tennessee in 2015. As a redshirt freshman last season, threw just 1 pass. It was a completion of 2 yards. Then decided he wanted to go somewhere where he could start. Elected to go to junior college in Kansas. Ultimately decided against that. Came home to California, and here he is at San Jacinto having a career night with 3 touchdowns. They'll keep it on the ground on second down and pick up about 5 up the middle.
That's a great play on second down. That makes third down much more manageable.
And
third and
Becknell,
4, 3rd and 5, you have so many options that you can do.
Now, Becknell has been the primary ball carrier tonight, 53 yards rushing to his credit. It'll be third down and a manageable 5 for Mount San Jacinto.
Well, Aaron, that's one of the big differences between this LA Valley team and this Mount San Jacinto team, because Mount LA Valley, well, they use the running back by committee approach, but Becknell, he gets almost all the carries on his team.
Yeah, they go as he goes as far as the rushing attack. 3rd and 6 from the 11. Jones knocked to the ground as he throws, and too much juice on it. So he went for the home run ball downfield, looking for Jaden Lundy, but unable to connect with his big 6'3" target. And good coverage on the play by Noah Barber,
who stands at 5'9". You would think a little bit of an opportunity there where you don't have to be a burner. Give him a chance to go up and make a play on the ball, maybe some sort of comeback back shoulder play, something of that nature where he can use his size more to his advantage.
Yeah, with a 6-inch advantage for the receiver, he would have won that jump ball if that's what it had been. But fortunately, Jones overthrew that one. It'll be 4th down and 6. Now comes the punting unit. That one is shanked. May have been partially blocked. This will roll out of bounds around the 25. So what it looked like to me, just about a 14-yard punt.
Yeah, and to me, that looked like that was number 56, Justin Smith. He's 6'1", 320. He's from Birmingham Community Charter High School. Not certain that was the man, but at that size, that would make sense that he got through to get a hand on the ball there.
Yeah, ball definitely looked like it had altered directions. You know, what was unusual to me about that play from the start was Jones punted it away again, but he was so close to the center. He was only about 5 yards behind him, and that didn't give him enough room to really surge forward and get a good view of where he was going.
Correct.
I don't think he saw Smith coming.
On a traditional punt, you're 10 to 12 yards behind.
Yeah, so the spacing just odd there as LA Valley will take over at the 23 of San Jacinto, trailing by 12, 2.5 to play in the third quarter. Judd out of the gun, throws towards the end zone. It's a low throw into the ground. It is caught by Faison Knight at the 2 and quickly down there. And you can hear the crowd roaring below us. They're back into this game. 21-yard completion.
That's what I've been pounding for all night from the quarterbacks. Judd standing confidently in the pocket. Even though the edge rushers came up, the tackles did a great job, and he threads the ball down the seam.
He'll hurry to the line of scrimmage. No huddle. Give it away to Baskerville. Baskerville runs to the right into the end zone. Second touchdown of the third quarter for him. And LA Valley cuts it to a one-score game, 32-26. As LA Valley not done, making a comeback.
That they are, Aaron, and you can see Kilauea Judd. He's injected life into this offense, but as the offense gets better and better, that injects some energy into the defense as well. We saw that on the last 2 possessions after giving up that touchdown to Stewart on the first play of the third quarter for Mount San Jacinto, but since then it's been lights out LA Valley.
Yeah, and I really like what Jason Vandiver's doing upstairs, offensive coordinator here, returning after a season away. Vandiver is, since bringing Kilauea Judd into the game, has mixed things up. He's used the deep ball to move the ball downfield, and then once they get close to the goal line, they put it on the ground. Extra point, meanwhile, was wide to the left. So we'll stay a 6-point game, 32-26, but LA Valley makes it a one-score game. They're back in it. Plenty of time. About 17 minutes of game clock to go, and Kilauea Judd has clearly given this offense a spark. And defense has to be feeling some of that momentum, knowing that they're a stop and a score away from potentially taking the lead.
And now you can see we've got the music going. We've got the crowd into it. There's some life on the sidelines. This is their time. Let's get one more stop, come back. You have to trust that Kilauea Judd's going to get the job done now.
He's been on the money so far tonight. Came in the middle of the third quarter after spending the rest of the night on the bench. Has had a lot of struggles this season. Still hasn't fully recovered from that knee injury he suffered last year. Coming from Hawaii to play college football. A lot of out-of-state guys, most of them coming from the East Coast, but Judd comes over to the mainland. Kick is high and not all that deep. Fielded at the 15 by Stewart. And Stewart with a cut to the left side takes it to about the 23, an 8-yard return.
Yeah, he's wrapped up there by number 35, Ivan Mertilis, 6'1" DB. Lots of big DBs in this game, Aaron. 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". I wonder where they get all these kids from.
Well, both teams definitely have the blessing of size.
Well, that's one of the changes that you've seen over time in getting these bigger and bigger receivers. But then with the bigger receivers, well, now bigger kids are starting to play defensive back like we're talking about to match up with them. Just the athleticism is off the charts.
San Jacinto starting at their 25, their lead trimmed to 6. Jones looking downfield, nothing there. Tucks to the right arm and runs ahead of the 30 and down at the 32 near the sideline. So 7-yard scramble for Jones. It was the second leading rusher for this team. Had a 38-yard scramble in the first half.
That was Crenshaw on the stop. Called his name quite a bit in the second half, number 38.
I have to give Jones a lot of credit tonight. He's had a great deep ball, but when there's been nobody open, he never forces the football. Has avoided that costly turnover tonight and has known when to run and when to throw. 2nd and 3, San Jacinto from their 32. Minute and a half to play in the third. Play clock down to 3. They just get it off. And a handoff to Becknell, and Becknell takes it to the 35. It's going to be close to that first down marker. Looks like he has it, and the official will signal the chain gang to move the big orange signs.
Crenshaw and Darius Harris in on that stop. Harris, another one of those Philadelphia players.
So for San Jacinto, they've seen that the momentum has been stolen by LA Valley. Back-to-back touchdowns for LA Valley, and San Jacinto wants to burn a little clock. Would ideally like to come away with a score, but if nothing else, want to at least sustain a drive. Get a little momentum on their side. Play clock is down to 2. They're going to have to snap it quickly. 0 on the clock. Did the officials see it?
They did.
Yes, they do. Out comes the yellow, and that'll back things up 5 yards.
That is the third delay of game penalty on the Eagles today. That has to be so frustrating.
Well, totally, especially, in a situation where you've already lost the momentum. You really need a long drive here. You don't want to put your quarterback in difficult situations where he's got to, go for long throws.
Right, that's it right there. My fear is that your tendency after LA Valley comes down and they get a couple of those scores and they steal the momentum, so you want to respond with a big play of your own. Well, big plays are hard to come by, as we all know. So the more successful route really is to just chip the ball down the field like they're doing right now. So you don't want to see them get backed up where they have to throw it deep or get into one of those 3rd and short situations where they're going to throw it deep again and likely not get the first down.
So San Jacinto took a timeout in the meantime. Now they're going to say they got the timeout before the delay of game. So Jones, 1st and 10 from the 35. Play action, airs it out downfield, and a jump ball catch made in double coverage. Nice catch on the play. Laquan Washington, his 4th reception of the night. And that is at the 29-yard line of LA Valley.
Well, Aaron, they must have heard me talking. Thought they had to show me wrong. And he just went over Romeo Gunt there. It looked like from the position, Gunt was in front of him. He had a chance to go up and maybe snag an interception, but wasn't quite able to get his hands on the ball.
45 yards on the bomb. 32-26, San Jacinto with the lead. 30 seconds to go in the third. 1st and 10 from the LA Valley 39. Keep it on the ground with Becknell, and Becknell straight up the gut. Fights his way to the 24. Nice 5-yard pickup on what could be the final play of the third quarter. 20 seconds on the game clock. San Jacinto does not need to snap it again.
Amir Postley on the tackle. And as Sharon Jones jogs to the sideline, you have to think the rest of the offense is as well.
Yeah, San Jacinto going to take advantage of every opportunity they can to give their defense some rest, and they're threatening again. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the LA Valley 29. San Jacinto trying to wrestle back that momentum. They've seen what was once a 19-point lead carved down to 6 by the Monarchs. At the end of 3, San Jacinto 32, LA Valley 26. You're watching LA Valley College Football on SportsNetUSA.net, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim.
And speaking of that, LA Valley College football is brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Once again, go to their website for today's deals on used cars, including Toyota's certified pre-owned vehicles. On the web at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com and located at the 91 in Euclid, Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, and education.
So as we get ready to start the 4th quarter, remind you how we got to this point. San Jacinto with an early score. Jones, the quarterback, bounce back from Tennessee, found Michael Stewart on a deep throw down the right sideline, 37 yards into the end zone. San Jacinto led 6-0. They would eventually extend that lead to 26-13 by the end of the half as Jones threw 3 touchdowns in the first half of play. LA Valley has since then cut it to 32-26. 2 touchdown runs by Baskerville in the 3rd quarter. So a 6-point game. San Jacinto, though, is threatening. They have it 2nd and 4 from the LA Valley 25. Jones out of the gun, rolls to his right, throws towards the sidelines, incomplete. He was looking for Stewart. It was a low throw. Stewart went to a knee, tried to locate that football, press it against his chest, but unable to do so. Falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 4.
A lot of juice in that ball from Jones, and it's thrown a little bit outside. That's a deceptively tough pass to come up with as a receiver.
And Jones has had a monster night. He's been accurate. He's had a good deep ball. 4 touchdown throws tonight, 3 of them to Michael Stewart, the other to Daniel Singer. They've mixed up the running game as well. Jones himself is scrambled for 45 yards. Jamari Becknell, 61, is the leading rusher. He'll stand to the right side of Jones, who will look downfield. Nothing there. Jones will take off and run. Jones has the first down as he slides forward, gives himself up at the 20. Needed 4, picks up 5. And a first down as Mount San Jacinto will reach the red zone.
It looks like it's going to be pretty close. They're calling 4th down.
Well, I'm surprised by that. He needed, looks like about 4.5 yards. I thought he picked up 5 to the 20.
Well, the difference is when you see the quarterback slide right there, he's down at that point. You can't gain any more yardage. That would probably explain that last half yard that he's short.
That's right. It's where he gives himself up. So 4th and inches. And Jones goes for the QB sneak. Does not get it. The defensive line stands tall. Lots of celebrating Monarchs running over the field. Probably nobody more emotional than Amir Postley. Linebacker out of Philadelphia, had an interception last week, leads the charge for a 4th down stand on this drive, and LA Valley's going to get the ball back early in the 4th quarter. Chance to go the distance, possibly take the lead as they trail by just 6.
You know, Aaron, to me, it looked like there was a little bit of a blown call there. I thought I saw a little bit of movement on that offensive line, which you cannot decline that. That is a dead ball penalty. That would have backed them up 5 yards, but they would have gotten another shot.
Right, and that's the only situation where you'll ever see a coach begging for a penalty to be called against his team.
Exactly. Sometimes it's the calls that aren't made that influence the game just as much as the ones that are.
So first minute of the 4th quarter, 32-26, Mount San Jacinto. LA Valley takes over on downs at their 20. Judd in for his 3rd drive. Will dump it off short in the flat to Faison Knight. Knight looks like it will be called incomplete. Knight unable to complete the process before he went out of bounds near the 23. Would have been a short gain anyway.
Well, Tyler Freeman was right there, the safety. He came up, and Knight, he was just focused on getting hit rather than bringing the ball in.
So 81 yards and 2 touchdowns for Kalawaya Judd in relief of not 1, not 2, but 3 other quarterbacks tonight. He is the 4th quarterback to take the field for LA Valley. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Baskerville with the carry. Has the first down at the 30 as a flag comes out. 40, 50. Baskerville slips out of a shoestring tackle at the 40. And Baskerville is going to go all the way 80 yards for a touchdown. But there's a flag on the field all the way back near the line of scrimmage. And 9 times out of 10, Luke, that's going to be holding on the offense.
Well, this is one of those 9 instead of the 10th. This one is coming back as you're going to get a penalty for holding on the left tackle.
It was Gregory Nathaniel. called for the hold, and oh boy, what an emotional letdown that is. Wipes off an 80-yard touchdown run from the board. But if nothing else, does that say to LA Valley, look, we've scored on our last 2 drives. We just made a big play again. We can do it. Just going to be a little tougher and have to back up.
Well, Baskerville's ready to play, but also he's probably a little bit gassed now. The man, when you consider running in side to side, he probably just ran about 100 yards at a dead sprint, broke a couple of tackles on the way. That takes some gas out of the tank.
And not surprisingly, the running back Schick will come in to replace Baskerville at least for this play.
Well, we've seen with Judd in the game that Schick has been the receiving back, Baskerville the little bit bigger running back. Expect a pass here.
So early in the fourth, 32-26, San Jacinto with the lead, 2nd and 20 following the hold for LA Valley at their 10. Judd looking downfield, nobody there, takes off with it in between the hash marks and then gives himself up at the 25. So Judd makes up the 10 yards from the holding penalty and then gets 5 yards more, 15-yard scramble from Kalawaya Judd, and that will set up a 3rd and a very manageable 5.
And we spoke about how his mobility might be affected. He's looked great running the ball.
Yeah, the mobility did not look to be an issue there after the knee injury sustained last season. It'll be 3rd down and 5 from the 25. Dumps it off short for Schick. Schick catches in the flat, has the first down, 30, 40, 45. And Schick finally tackled from behind. He was grabbed by James Reeder, but there's a flag out at the 30. And LA Valley hoping they don't have a second big play taken away from them by the officials.
Oh, boy. That's tough, getting that block in the back there, especially because Judd did such a great job. He was patient. He waited in the backfield there with the pressure in his face for the screen to develop.
Now that will back the football up to the 20-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and about 11. Need to get to the 31.5 or so. Judd will work out of the gun.
Baskerville in the backfield. He's been the running down back so far.
Judd in an empty shotgun. Looking downfield, nothing there. Escapes out of the pocket to the right side and then look for an open man down the sidelines. Look for Atkinson. And a flag comes out at the end of it. I think we're going to get a roughing the passer, which would be 15 yards and an automatic 1st down.
Well, that's exactly what we're getting. The refs taketh away and the refs giveth back here with the penalties.
And Judd knew it. He got off the ground, was clapping his hands. I'll admit I had shifted my eye focus to Atkinson to see if he could make that catch along the sidelines.
There we go. That penalty's going against number 19, D'Amico Boyd, 6'4", 214 freshman from Fairfield High School on that Eagles defensive line.
Yeah, that's just a no-no. Can't do that. Can't rough the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down. 1st and 10, LA Valley from their 35 trying to complete a comeback. They trailed by 19. They've cut it to 6 with 12:45 to play. Baskerville is back in at running back, standing behind Judd. Baskerville gets the call. Baskerville bounces to the right side, 40, 45, 1st down and more, 50, as he makes a cutback in between the hash marks. And Baskerville finally tackled after picking up 15 more yards. And what a second half he's having. On my unofficial stat sheet, I've got him up to 96 yards on the night.
And 2 scores.
And 2 scores in the 3rd quarter.
Well, now is when you ride that running back. You keep him in the game. You keep handing it off to him. Get some push. And they're giving him the 1st down, too.
Yeah, and he's standing behind Judd. He will get the call again on 1st down, run to the left side. Hit at the 48, stays on his feet, gets to the 45, and then reaches out for 2 more after the second hit. Now they're backing up at the 44, but 6 more yards for Baskerville, who crosses the 100-yard mark tonight. As the first LA Valley Monarch to cross 100 yards in a game this season.
Just for a little bit of reference, Baskerville has 109 yards on the season going into tonight. Only 86 net, and he had 1 touchdown. Clearly he's shining.
2nd and 4, LA Valley on the move at the San Jacinto 44. Judd out of the gun. Judd points downfield looking for a deep ball, never materializes, then takes off with it. Somebody lost a helmet on the collision as Judd was hit around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
That's the kind of play that has to make you cringe if you're an LA Valley fan. Judd thrown down pretty hard.
Yeah,
Opens up that opportunity to get hurt.
Yeah, Quentin Blair, a defensive lineman, made the tackle, lost his helmet in the process, so had to run over to the sidelines to get it back on. So he'll sit out for at least a play. So 11 minutes and counting in the contest. 32-26 San Jacinto. LA Valley, touchdown would tie it if they can get an extra point, would take the lead. Judd in the gun, 3rd and 4 from the enemy 44. They give it away to Gary Gandy, and Gandy tripped up at the 43. A flag comes out from behind. There's a couple of guys in there to make the stop, including Dalen McCoy.
That's another offensive holding on LA Valley, if you couldn't hear it out of the ref's microphone.
Well, now it's a decision for Casey Mazzota. What does he want to do? Would he rather face a 4th and 4 or a 3rd and 14? And figuring that LA Valley might go for it on 4th and 4, he's going to back it up to the 46 of LA Valley. It'll be 3rd and 14.
That's a smart call, but Judd would make me nervous going against him. Give him 2 shots for 14 yards.
So Gandy will be in the backfield to the right side of Judd. 3 receivers left, 1 on the right. 3rd and 14, LA Valley from their 46. Judd pump fakes once, looking downfield, had Gandy wide open at the 20. That was a gift wrap touchdown, but it was overthrown and falls incomplete.
He threw it literally 1 step too far. Gandy on that wheel route releases out of the right side in the backfield, up the right sideline. Then you see oftentimes the linebackers in coverage, and they are not quick enough, and they take a poor angle. That leaves the running back wide open. The safety doesn't adjust over quick enough. That should have been the touchdown.
And the 2 men in the secondary, Corey McKinney and Lonnie Jackson, both got burned on that play by Gandy. Fair catch called for by Stewart on the punt, and he will make it at the 18. A 36-yard punt, no return. And San Jacinto will start from inside their 20, and we come back on SportsNetUSA.net. Now, Aaron Rosenberg and Luke Hobbs with you on SportsNetUSA.net. Thanks to Miller Toyota of Anaheim for sponsoring tonight's contest. 10:22 to play in the game. 32-26, San Jacinto with the lead and the football. They will begin at their 19. Jones, 4 touchdown passes tonight. Stays in the gun on first down, gives it away to Becknell. Becknell straight up the gut, and Becknell fights his way to the 24. 5-yard pickup on first down for Becknell. He'll set up 2nd and 5. So LA Valley's defense is stood tall. They gave up a touchdown early in the 3rd quarter. That was the 4th touchdown throw of the night for Jones. But since then, they've gotten off the field every single time, including a 4th down stand inside the red zone on the last defensive series.
And a blocked punt.
That's right. So LA Valley trying to stay hot defensively. 2nd and 6. San Jacinto from their 19 throw short to the right side. And that is caught by Court. Should have enough yardage for the first down as he makes his way to the 31.
And I made this point last time they ran that quick out. You have to give lots of kudos to the receivers on their blocking ability for Mount San Jacinto. That's an awfully hard thing to do and not get that holding call against you, as LA Valley can attest to, because that's happened a couple times. That killed that last drive.
Now San Jacinto, after picking up a first down, 1st and 10 at their 32, leading by 6, 9:15 to play. Jones in the gun, joined by Becknell. Becknell runs to the right side, 40, head of the 43. Should be a first down as he will be marked down at the 44. Another 12 yards for Becknell, who has had a solid all-around night. 78 yards on the ground, a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, which right now is the difference in the game.
And you know, Aaron, I love the way he runs. He's a north and south kid. He gets up the field. He'll just take what the defense gives him. When he sees that it's time to cut up, he does. No more dancing, no more losing yards. It's all positive. It's beautiful.
It's just a short speedster, 5'7".
But thick at 175 pounds at that height.
Now 1st and 10, San Jacinto from their 44, leading by 6, 8:45 to play. Jones fakes a handoff, rolls to the right on a keeper, and then just throws it out of bounds before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Smart play there. I think it was intended for him to run, but
it was.
Saw that the defense was closing in quickly. A lot of quarterbacks forget on a keeper that they still have the option to throw it away out of bounds, but Jones has made good decisions all night long. He's eaten the football when nobody's open downfield. Really hasn't forced any bad throws tonight. Only near interception for the Monarchs came on a tipped ball. This is a Monarchs team that has been pretty good defensively, 8 interceptions on the season, so Jones certainly had his work cut out for him coming into tonight's contest. Second and 10, San Jacinto at the 44.
Very impressive tonight.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and Becknell in the backfield. Takes the handoff on a draw, runs right side ahead of midfield. Becknell carrying 2 defenders on his back ahead of the 45 of LA Valley. Another first down. 14 more yards for Jamari Becknell.
And you can tack on another 5 with contact. So impressive the way that he delivers the hit rather than taking it. He's able to carry 2 or 3 defenders through the end of the run. That's where he's able to use his rather short stature to his advantage.
There's a tremendous value for the San Jacinto offense tonight. And San Jacinto huddling before every play, knows their defense is gassed, trying to eat up as much clock as possible. So we come up on 8 minutes to go in the game. San Jacinto a 32-26 lead. First down from the LA Valley 43. Design keeper for Jones as he runs in between the hashes, gives himself up at the 40. Never touched. 3 more yards for Jones on the scramble. And Jones is the second leading rusher for San Jacinto on the season. And tonight by yardage as well.
Boy, for all the physical talent he has, we've seen the arm, we've seen that he can run the ball, he can move well. He just makes the right decision on every single play.
It'll be 2nd and 7. San Jacinto at the LA Valley 40, and the Monarchs looking for one more defensive stand. They got burned early in the game, but have been good since then. Becknell in the backfield. There was movement all over the place on the line of scrimmage, but I never saw a flag come out.
I don't know what to tell you there, Aaron. There was definitely a movement before the play. It's either on the offense or the defense, but the line definitely moved.
Well, instead, it's no flag comes out. A 3-yard gain by Becknell.
Been saying that all night. I feel like the line moves early at least once every drive, and we've only gotten 1 or 2 of those penalties.
It'll be 3rd down and about 4 from the LA Valley 37. Need to get to the 33. Sharon Jones in the gun. He's got Becknell to his right, 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Jones steps to his right side, fires towards the sideline. It is hauled in by Stewart, who dove towards the first down marker. Made a catch. Nice play by Stewart as that throw is a little bit off the mark.
We're hearing other members up here in the press box say it, that they wore that play out. They're right. They've rolled out to the right. Probably 12 times tonight. They've completed it every single time for touchdowns, for 2-point conversions, for first downs. Great job. Don't overcomplicate things. Let's just do what works.
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Seems to be the strategy for Jones on those outside throws. 1st and 10. San Jacinto now at the LA Valley 30. On the move, up by 6. Becknell to the right side.
Moves.
And Becknell makes a couple more men miss as he takes it 6 yards to the 24. For Becknell, that puts him over 100 on the night, 101 yards. For Jamari Becknell, his best game of the season was against Glendale a few weeks ago, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has a touchdown in 4 consecutive games, although tonight that came on the special team side of things. And the clock winding down, 5:35 and counting, 2nd and 4. San Jacinto at the LA Valley 24. LA Valley needs to stop, can't allow even a field goal here. They would push it back to a 2-possession game. Jones clapping his hands with the play clock winding down. They get it off, and Becknell this time hit behind the line of scrimmage. 2-yard loss at the 26. As LA Valley comes in and makes a big play.
You needed something there. You needed something to go your way, someone to step up and make a play, and that was Jesse Hernandez. All 295 pounds of him just getting behind the line there. But this has been the perfect drive from Mount San Jacinto. They've eaten the clock. They started this drive with a little over 9 minutes to go. It's going to be at least 4.5 minutes by the time it's over.
The play clock is at 10, and San Jacinto still has not broken their huddle. At this point, it's going to be hard for them to get the play off. as they line up. Play clock is at 2, 3rd and 6 from the LA Valley 26. Low snap, it's on the ground, and Jones just has to fall on it. Now, that was a broken play from the start. They stayed in the huddle so long, I figured they were maybe just going to take a timeout. They only have one of them left. But by the time they got to the line of scrimmage, really had to rush it, as the players really weren't set until there were 2 seconds left on the play clock. It was a bad snap. Jones did the only thing he could do, fall on the football.
Well,
backs it up.
To me, that goes back to poor clock management earlier in the game. To only have one timeout in this situation, shame on them for wasting them earlier.
So they will pass up a 47-yard field goal, leave the offense on the field. 4th and 10 from the LA Valley 30. San Jacinto up by 6 with 4 minutes to play. Jones, design keeper, makes a man miss at the 25, has the first down at the 15, and carries another man on his back to the 12. 18 yards on the design keeper by Jones. Sharon Jones has made big throws all night long with the 4 touchdown passes, and he's been able to scramble when he's needed to as well. 5 scrambles, 71 yards, and none bigger than that 18-yard run for a first down.
Wow, 5 for 71. Craig Jones stepping up to make the stop there for LA Valley. Better late than never, I suppose, him not getting into the end zone. But now we're at 3:30. A touchdown here is going to essentially win you the game.
Yeah, LA Valley trailing by 6. They need a stop. And San Jacinto in field goal range, 1st and 10 from the 12. Giving Becknell a rest, it's Adrian, the running back, comes in, and Adrian runs to the right side, takes it to the 10.
I believe that's Becknell coming right back in.
Yeah, so just
you don't want to take that man out of the game.
No, he's been so effective. Over 100 yards tonight. I've got him at 101 on the night. Don't forget his 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, which right now in a 6-point game is the difference. So LA Valley has 3 timeouts in their pocket, but electing to save them, at least for now, 2:50 and counting. It'll be 2nd and 8 for San Jacinto from the LA Valley 10. They're in field goal range, and a field goal would make it a 2-score game. So Jones clapping his hands. Gets the snap. We'll give it to Becknell. Becknell
He's got a chance to go.
Makes a man miss at the 15.
Corner.
Becknell angles to the left sideline and then tripped up from behind at the 6. The 4-yard gain for Becknell as they inch closer and closer to the goal line.
One of the small things there that you have to give credit to is Kiefer Court. He has the edge block, so he has to go around and seal the outside to defender to make the lane for the running back to run outside along the left sideline. Well, the defender spun out of it. Oftentimes you get a holding penalty there. Put his hands up. All he did was get in the way. Clearly showed he wasn't creating a penalty. Heads-up play.
3rd and 3 from the 5-yard line. Jones rolling to the right. Dumps it off in the flat. It is caught and taken in for the touchdown. That is Kiefer Court, who has been targeted all night long. That is his 6th catch of the night. And none bigger than that one. A 5-yard touchdown reception on the short throw. And it makes it a 2-score game, 38-26. LA Valley got a lot of stops in the second half, but cannot get the one final one they needed. Get the ball back for their offense. And
Aaron, of course, what did they run when they had to have it? Rolled out to the right. Receiver drags across the formation. He's wide open with a full head of steam.
Yeah, it's been their favorite play all night long, the throws towards the sidelines. That's the 5th touchdown pass for Sharon Jones tonight. Eclipses his season high of 4, which he had against Compton at the beginning of the year. So they'll go for 2, try to make it a 14-point game, 38-26. Spread formation. Well, it's Becknell in the backfield. Becknell will get the call and run up the middle untouched. You can tell how tired the defense is there, as nobody really got a clean break towards Becknell.
He's just shifty. He's hard to bring down, and as you said, the defense is gassed.
And the offensive line celebrating a little bit for Mount San Jacinto.
They just pushed him around, and in the first half, the LA Valley defense, well, they're on the field the entire time. They come out in the third quarter, allow that one touchdown, then they get some energy back in them. But at a certain point, you are going to break if you're on the field too much. I think ultimately this one's going to come back to the offense couldn't get it done in the first half enough, and they had their opportunities.
Oh, they had plenty of them. There were 2 possessions in the first half in which they started inside the San Jacinto 30-yard line.
With no points.
And came away with no points. So LA Valley with 2:10 to play, trails by 14. They have 3 timeouts in their pocket. Just short kick, straight ahead down the middle, fielded at the 30, returned towards the right side. That was Kenneth Harrell. Ball is on the ground. It is scooped up by Mount San Jacinto. Tyler Freeman on the move, and Tyler Freeman, angling to the right side, will take it all the way into the end zone. Oh, boy, well, that's your dagger right there.
Well, that is part of the thinking when you go for those squib kicks, to get the ball, like we said, to that second-level player, which is going to be someone that's not used to having the ball in their hands as much. In this case, it was number 46, Quincy Coolidge. It's a 6-foot defensive back, so he's a little bit bigger player. But they flipped him over, and in the process of him flipping, he lost the ball. Tyler Freeman's there to scoop and score. Freeman has been all over the field tonight. This is where you're starting to see the team just break. And Mount San Jacinto, they had it going the entire night. So props to them. They came out ready to play. They never really had a lull.
Well, now a 3-score game, and writing's on the wall at this point. And Matt White, being a former special teams coach, now the head coach, youngest head coach in the country, will not be happy with how this game finished. He saw his team fight back, which is obviously very encouraging. Turned a 19-point game into a 6-point deficit. LA Valley had their chance. They were driving downfield, couldn't quite punch it in for the score, which potentially could have given them the lead. And instead, then the ensuing possession, the defense couldn't get off the field, made it a 2-score game. And
there's so many factors that went into this game. When Becknell wasn't called for stepping out, when it looked like he did along that left sideline early in his big touchdown return, that changes the entire dynamic of the game. The fact that there were a lot of penalties called against LA Valley and some that you thought could have been called against Mount San Jacinto that weren't called, well, that affects it. Officials always play a big influence. Furthermore, the offense, they couldn't get anything going. You see that they stand a chance with Kilauea Judd. Any other quarterback, it's unlikely they're going to go very far this season, especially as they head into conference play next week.
Right, and they're going to have a long week of practice trying to figure out, how to correct all these mistakes. 2 special teams touchdowns allowed tonight. One on a kickoff return for a touchdown, the other one on the fumble. Recovery by Tyler Freeman. Just a moment ago, we have an injury timeout on the field. There's an injured San Jacinto Eagle all the way on the far side of the field. I can't tell if it's 34 or 44. 34 is Vladimir Santana, and 44 is Isaiah Forrest. He's covered up by the trainers on the far side of the field. Obviously, I hope he's okay. Let you know who it is once he stands up and we get a full look at the jersey number.
Either way, at this point of the game, 1:54 to go, up by 20 points for Mount San Jacinto. This game is effectively over. We'd like to see everyone just get home safe. No more injuries. And let's go ahead and put this one to bed.
All right, and both teams set to open up conference play next week. For LA Valley, they'll be home in the Liberty Bell game against Pierce. They've won in dominating fashion the last 2 years in that game. Pierce undergoing some turmoil of their own, firing their coach a couple weeks ago, standing at 2-3 on the season. So 2 teams that are struggling at this point, and
both
obviously one of them is going to come away with a win to start conference season. LA Valley wants to make sure that it's them.
Mount San Jacinto, they look ahead. They're going to play College of the Desert, who we already broadcast one of their games earlier this year in the home opener for LA Valley. And one last time, a reminder that we want to give our thanks to Miller Toyota of Anaheim for sponsoring tonight. If you are a member of the U.S. military with current active duty status or a reservist, you may qualify for a $500 rebate toward the purchase or lease of a new Toyota at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Retirees or veterans honorably discharged within 1 year of service and household members of eligible qualifying military personnel also qualify. More details at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com, and located at the 91 in Euclid, Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, and education. So, Aaron, they did just score the touchdown. Now the ball's at the 2. I mean, do you kick the extra point, or are we going to go for 2 since every time it seems to get blocked?
Well, I mean, up 20 points with 2 minutes to go.
The sportsmanship would indicate that you kick the extra point, but
yeah, from an X's and O's standpoint, I would say you work on your weakness. And weakness for San Jacinto was kicking tonight. They had the blocked punt. They had 3 blocked extra points.
You could be a politician the way that you swing that one. Good job.
Well, that's what I would do. So Casey Mazzotta will have his own decision to make. But right now, all eyes on on the San Jacinto sideline. They have an injured player from the last play. It was either 34 or 44. We didn't get a clean look at the jersey.
And you know, Aaron, earlier tonight I mentioned that there was that state football poll from the SIDs all throughout the country. Well, last week, LA Valley, they were tied for 15th. They dropped out with a loss. I'm sure it's not going to do them any favors tonight because they were one of the other teams getting votes in this week's. But if we go back to this week's, well, Fullerton, they're the top dog. They were unanimous number ones, the reigning state champs. Riverside City at number 2, so you know that's a tough conference. American River, College of San Mateo, Bakersfield. A lot of the usual suspects are really up there in CCCAA football this year.
Well, winning leads to more winning. When you set up a winning culture, it makes players want to come here. It makes coaches want to stay. You have history on your side. It's just easier to sustain that than build it up from the ground. Well, for the first time tonight, a Mount San Jacinto extra point is good. It's Perrine, who had 3 kicks blocked in the first half, able to sneak that one through. And with a minute 54 to play, 47-26. LA Valley on the wrong end of the scoreboard tonight. They had cut it to a 6-point game early in the fourth quarter, but unable to complete the comeback, lost momentum late.
You have to give all the credit in the world to the Mount San Jacinto offense for that touchdown drive at the end of the game. They ate up, I believe it was nearly 7 minutes off the clock, and to come away with a touchdown at the end, you know, that's what the great teams do. They can put you away, and they can close games when they need to.
So the game out of hand, LA Valley, I figure they at least want to show they can execute a kick return here. Gary Gandy will return on the near side.
I'm going to be curious to see if they put Killaway Judd back out there. He's played great tonight, and he was such a spark for them. But if you're worried about his health, maybe you don't want to put him out there in garbage time.
I'd be surprised to see him out there. Just make sure everybody gets off the field healthy tonight. It's a short kick. It's towards the near side. Gary Gandy fields at the 27, 30, 35, 40. Gandy down the sideline, 50, and finally chased down from behind around the 40.
That's number 12, Lanil Jackson Barrow, who came up with the shoestring tackle. Quite a few of those tonight. Guys been chasing down from behind. You don't see that all that often. And it will be Judd back out there.
Well, see if they allow him to throw the ball, if they just go conservative. He's got Schick in the backfield, Judd. We had a big fourth quarter. Judd threw for 81 yards. Led 2 touchdown drives. Well, both touchdowns came on the ground. Judd, time to throw, dumps it off short to Schick. At the 30, Schick, room to run, 20, sidelines at the 10. And Schick all the way into the end zone. Did he put the foot down out of bounds? No. Schick into the end zone for a touchdown. One play, 37 yards. And LA Valley thinking, oh, man, if we could have just gotten that play a couple of drives on the last offensive series, we could have possibly taken the lead.
Absolutely. So now it's 47-32, down by 15. Looks like they're going to kick the extra point here. You have the 3 timeouts. I mean, obviously it's such a stretch, but keeping those timeouts does give you a chance, mathematically speaking. Now you're going to have the extra point and the onside kick.
All right, will require not 1 but 2 onside kicks.
And 2 quick scores.
Yeah, so Barr's extra point is good in the meantime, so that will make it a 14-point game, 47-33, with a minute 35 to play. And for LA Valley, I think you can't help but wonder, what if they had started Judd tonight? He's looked so effective against the San Jacinto defense. And there's no guarantee the game would have played out the same way, that he would have had the same success if he had come in from the onset. And certainly there were the reasons that he did not start tonight. He struggled over the last few weeks, just 15-34 with an interception a week ago in that loss.
However, sometimes when you come in as a backup in a situation where you're already getting smashed, not as much pressure. You know, you can come in, you can be loose, just sort of play your game. It looked like he was able to do that tonight. It felt very comfortable and confident.
Right, and it was a 19-point deficit when he entered, and San Jacinto perhaps had, taken a little bit of their focus off defensively. They don't want to accuse anybody of taking plays off, but...
Well, he is directly responsible for 2 of their touchdown drives. He made a nice throw and a nice read on that third one, but Schick really so quick after the catch. All right, let's see how good the hands team is for Mount San Jacinto. Looks like that kick's going to be going towards the bottom of your screen.
So they'll stack 6 guys on the right, 4 on the left. Here comes the kick. It's high enough. It's gone the 10 yards. It's on the ground. LA Valley is saying they have it.
Oh, it's
Although
loose.
It's still changing hands, but I think by the end of it, San Jacinto had fallen on top.
Yeah, that's Jaden Lundy, the 6'3" receiver. He ended up coming up with the ball. So that one, I mean, however, with these 3 timeouts, Aaron, you still have to get a first down.
Right, well, San Jacinto is going to have to run 3 plays. There's a minute 31 on the clock. LA Valley has all 3 timeouts. 47-33 the score. So for San Jacinto,
it's time for Jamari Becknell to pad his stats.
Yeah, 105 yards for him, as well as a kick return touchdown tonight. And it sounds obvious, but you got to figure they're going to keep the ball on the ground, force LA Valley to burn all 3 of those timeouts on first, second, and third down.
And if you get a first along the way, then that's the game.
Even better. So Becknell is in the backfield, gets the call, and Becknell ahead of the 50, picks up good yardage on first down to the 46. That is 6 yards, but
carried Jesse Hernandez for the last 2 of them.
Yeah, Romeo Gunt lost his helmet on the play. So hobble off the field.
Hernandez has, he only has 5 inches and 120 pounds on Becknell.
So LA Valley, not surprisingly, will spend their first time out. Comes a minute 25 on the clock. But with a 5 or 6 yard gain on first down, LA Valley just has to first make sure that they don't allow the first down. They could force the 3 and out, they'll get the ball back, and then the fun begins. Then you got to get the quick score, kick an onside kick, get another score. So it sounds like a lot, but all you can worry about is the next play in front of you, and the defense knows their job. Get the 3 and out.
Get the 3 and out, but also I'm going to expect C.J. Claiborne, the defensive coordinator, this is where you blitz, this is where you send the pressure. Also, you better believe that these defenders, they're going to be going for the ball. They're going to be swiping. So Becknell needs to keep it high and tight to avoid losing it.
So Becknell in the backfield, behind Jones. We'll wait for the shotgun snap. There are 2 receivers and a tight end on the field, although I assume they're just there to be a decoy. Becknell running to the left side, gets stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. He's tackled all the way back at the 46. On the San Jacinto side of the field, 7-yard loss on the play.
Noah Barber coming up to make the stop behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll be 3rd down and 12 after LA Valley calls their second timeout.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something called for Sharon Jones here, some sort of design quarterback keeper. He's been so dependable, so smart with the ball tonight. It's not like you would expect him to commit a turnover.
Yeah, and one of the back-breaking plays tonight wasn't what the 5 touchdowns by Jones, although those were certainly big plays, but the one that stands out to me, it was a 6-point game at the time, late in the 4th quarter. LA Valley had a chance for a stop on 3rd down. Jones ran a bootleg to the right side, picked up 18 yards, got down to the 12 of LA Valley. They eventually scored and put the game on ice as it turned out.
Right, on that play he was decisive. He saw that he had a lane and he committed to it right away. And then his wheels took him the rest of the distance.
3rd and 12, San Jacinto from their 46. Minute 18 to go. 14-point lead for San Jacinto. LA Valley needs that stop. Then they would call their 3rd timeout. And get the ball back. Becknell with the call. Runs left. Dances around the line of scrimmage. Then runs forward. Gets to the 50. 1 more yard to the 49.
What'd you call that, about 5 yards probably?
Yeah, 5 yards. It'll be well short of the first down and should draw out the punting unit. So LA Valley will spend their 3rd timeout. Minute 10 on the clock. And you'd feel a lot better if this were a 1-possession game. It's asking a lot to try to come away with 2 scores and only a minute 10 to go, especially now with LA Valley out of timeouts. Judd has looked good tonight, and see if they can't get down the field quickly, but without the timeouts, they're really going to have to work the sidelines. And what makes that so difficult is San Jacinto knows that. They're going to guard the sidelines and try to take away exactly what you need.
Well, let's see here. I'm curious to see, are they going to bring the offense back out and do that quarterback punt that they've done the last 3 or 4 times?
Well, if Jones is out there, I think he's punting the ball. I just can't see them giving the gift of field position to LA Valle with so much to overcome there. But Jones is out there. He's punted it a couple times tonight.
I would have to think so. I mean, yeah. Got that little soccer-style punt.
I'll send it high into the air. It's not a particularly long punt. It'll eventually be downed around the 32, so just a 17-yard punt from Jones.
All right.
Yeah, so Craig Jones on the field for LA Valle thought he was going to have a chance to return that ball. The official blew it dead, and Jones was having some words with the officials. But as usual, it's all for naught.
Lots of debate about that up here.
Yeah, 1:01 on the clock. LA Valle trailing by 14. And they will begin at their 30-yard line. 70 yards away from the end zone. Even if they can get in, they'll need an onside kick and another score. Judd in the gun, rolling right. Looking
Caught
for
by Matt White.
Ordonez and overshoots him out of bounds, incomplete.
That's a reception, just out of bounds.
So that'll take 5 seconds off the clock. Bring up 2nd and 10.
We'll
LA
call this
Valle at their 30.
Practice for the 2-minute drill.
Well, this is the 1-minute drill, and you need 2 of them, plus an onside kick.
Ugh. Big plays.
Got to work the sidelines. LA Valle out of timeouts. Judd waiting for the shotgun snap. Looking downfield, has time to throw. Well, pitch it short. It is caught at the 36. Room to run ahead of midfield, but staying in bounds was the receiver. It was Patrick Roblo Jr., I believe his first catch of the season.
And Laniel Jackson Barrow, the defensive back, just came up to lay the wood and get the big hit. Also kept the receiver in bounds. Big play.
So 46 seconds on the game clock, and Roblo never got out of bounds.
Right, ball at the Mount San Jacinto 46.
The clock is stopped with 46 seconds. Confusion about something on the field. So what exactly happened, I'm not sure, but LA Valle got a free timeout.
Right, the clock will start as soon as the ball is spotted here.
That would have wound down another 10 to 15 seconds. Eventually, they're going to start the clock, but not until the official signal. LA Valle able to set up the play before that. So Judd takes the snap, 1st and 10 from the 50.
Stealing a play from the Eagles playbook.
Judd running to his left, throws towards the sidelines, and incomplete. He was looking for Justin Jacobs. High throw. Jacobs left into the air, but couldn't bring it down. Now do you just try the Hail Mary with the clock down to 34 seconds? Really don't have time to let a drive develop.
No, I think you have to, because with the no timeouts and needing to get the ball back for another score, seems like that's going to have to be the strategy.
So they'll split 4 receivers to each side of the field. And Judd will have 1 extra blocker standing to his left. Protecting the blind side, it's Gary Gandy. The Judd to his left. Now under pressure, has to get rid of it. Looking for Jacobs. And Matt White calling for the penalty as Jacobs took a tumble into the ground.
That should have been a penalty right there. Well, that one helps too. That's not the one that you want.
Well, not the one we expected.
It takes your quarterback to getting slammed.
So Judd felt the heat coming. He had already released the football, though, by the time he absorbed that hit. The ball was underthrown, but Jacobs looked like he had been interfered with down the field. Didn't get that call, but 15 yards, automatic first down for LA Valle.
He was interfered. He was coming back to the ball. His arm got hooked.
25 seconds on the game clock. LA Valle down by 14. First down at the 34 of San Jacinto. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Judd throws short, and it is complete to Gandy, who goes out of bounds at the 29.
This is good. From 29 yards out, now you it's still a stretch, but you can realistically throw the ball down the field. So let's just say they get it on this one. You want to divide the clock by about 6 seconds for every play, so you're going to get about 3 plays. If you score here, get the onside kick, you might have 2 plays. Might have a couple of chances.
Right. Well, you have to get this. You have to make sure you have a couple of seconds to at least run the Hail Mary if you're able to get the onside kick back. But first, you got to get the first touchdown though before you worry about the next one. Same formation, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, and it's Gandy in the backfield to provide extra blocking. Throws over the middle and incomplete, but a flag.
Oh. And on that
Judd
one, I
was
wasn't
looking
so
downfield.
sure.
Patrick Roblo Jr., who had a 22-yard reception earlier on this drive, looked to be the intended target, although the ball.
So that's going to put the ball
Never
somewhere
made it near.
around the 14-yard line.
Well, it should be half the distance to the goal with the ball being inside the 30. So the ball from the 29 should be at the 14.5.
All right.
Well, you don't get the time back, so just 13 seconds on the clock. Got to throw into the end zone here.
Every play you're throwing into the end zone. If you're
First
throwing anything underneath, it's absolutely to the sideline, but not what you want.
First down from the San Jacinto 13.
Maybe a
LA
target
Valley
Devin
needing 2
Hextall.
touchdowns. Judd looking into the end zone, throws it over the middle. The one thing he could not do, it's caught by Gandy at the 8.
That'll be the
Nowhere
last play
to
of
run,
the game.
and that will run out the clock. They're trying to get the players the line of scrimmage to spike the ball, but even if they did that, they would have had 1 second, didn't preserve the clock. And
It was always unlikely, but that's a poor choice by Judd. You have to throw the ball into the end zone or along the perimeter. Just absolutely no chance to come in and spike the ball. Too much to overcome.
so now Matt White pulling his players away from midfield. They were lining up to shake hands, and he's sending them to the end zone, so no handshake. Matt White, he's hot about something. He's going over to talk to the coaches, Casey Mazzota and company. I don't know what exactly the issue is here, but
Yeah, me neither. Some of the players are coming over to shake hands. But regardless, that's another one in the books, and LA Valley College, well, they've dropped 2 in a row.
yeah, well, it started early in the game. The problem
Hey, thank you.
problem was the defense. Defense didn't live up to their top billing, allowed a few touchdowns early. LA Valley quickly fell behind 2 possessions, and then that momentum continued for the San Jacinto offense into the third quarter. Sharon Jones bounced back from the University of Tennessee, had 5 touchdown passes tonight, had about 250 yards through the air. LA Valley never found the answer for him. And then when it came time to kill a clock, LA Valley couldn't get off the field. It was Jamari Becklin, the running back, ended up going over 100 yards, chewed up a lot of clock, wore out the defense, and just ended up being too little too late. But a nice comeback effort by Kyle Wyatt Judd, coming in the 4th quarterback to play tonight.
Right. So many impressive performances across the field on both sides of the field tonight. Obviously, Jamari Becknell, outstanding. He was really able to put the game away in the 4th quarter. But Sharon Jones, for a junior college level quarterback to make the right read, make the smart thing with the ball, and don't turn it over, throw it away, go ahead and slide when you need to. Very, very impressive. You can see that he probably has a future going on to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking ahead for LA Valley, they will take on Pierce College in the start of conference play next week. Pierce coming in at 2-3. Tonight they were defeated earlier today. Or actually, they had a bye week today. Their last contest was on the road. Loss against San Diego Mesa, 31-13. Fired their coach a couple of weeks ago. Coming in a lot of turmoil, instability on their end. So for LA Valley, an opportunity to come in against a weakened opponent and hopefully start to turn things around. But as we learned tonight, LA Valley was favored on paper in this game. No such thing as a sure thing. You have to come out and execute.
I think that it really comes down to the offense has to be more consistent and be able to execute early in the game, because that put too much pressure on the defense, and eventually you're not going to win like that, and that's not the defense's fault.
No, can't blame the defense for one bad night. They've carried the team the entire season out of many, and have made up for some shortcomings for the offense. So LA Valley, I got to figure Kalawaya Judd is going to be the guy to start next week against Pierce. Defense, we know they'll regroup. Too much talent
for them not to. But LA Valley on the wrong end of things tonight, 47-33, as they fall to 3-2 on the season. Back-to-back losses for the Monarchs after a 3-0 start and a 19-game winning streak going back 2 years. So for Luke Hobbs, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Aaron Rosenberg saying good night from LA Valley. We'll catch you next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, against Pierce in the opener of conference play. And this has been a presentation of LA Valley College Football and SportsNetUSA.net.